Dave Dombrowski. That's why you don't have Max Kepler as your big offseason addition, Dave. Phillies won last night, Johnny. Good Tuesday morning to you and the rest of the Philadelphia area.
Doesn't sound like it for you. It doesn't sound like it as we get started.
Look, I'll take a win, and I'll take a weird win with Edmundo Sosa. Walk-off? Catcher's interference, bases loaded in the 10th inning. Edmundo Sosa up to bat, checks his swing, hits the glove of the catcher, Carlos Narvaez of the Red Sox. That awards the runner on third base the score, and the Phillies win it 3-2 in 10 innings.
Did you know the rule?
Yeah.
Like Ben Davis played catcher in the major leagues and didn't know the rule.
I just,
and he was right there on the field and didn't know the rule.
No, I knew the rule. I question how legit of a swing Edmundo Sosa
I didn't know
had.
that. I didn't know how that was going to be ruled. Like, I didn't know. Ben's a major league catcher. He didn't know the rule.
Huh.
He was like, "What's like?" I didn't even know.
I'm a Sunday league catcher, Johnny. So
it's like that's.
Andy knew it.
He knew it.
Yeah,
in our Sunday league, that's the way it would have been ruled.
No,
I have no idea about that.
I just question how legit of a swing that was.
That didn't look like a swing.
Sosa, right?
That didn't look like a swing.
That's what I was questioning. But hey,
smart move.
Phils get the win 3-2 yesterday in a weird game where only Zach Wheeler, John, can look off and still go 6 innings, strike out 10, and allow just 2 earned runs. He gives up a home run in the very first inning to Jarren Duran, who's a player that a lot of Phillies fans have eyes on. And then he gives up 7 total hits, which is not something that we're used to out of Zach Wheeler. And yet he strikes out 10 and pitches a quality start, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. And, man, a quiet day from the bullpen?
Might have been all the time off, like the long paternity leave and then the double vacation that he got. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe a little rusty.
And
that's part of it.
Still ended up having a good game, so I'll take it.
He did, and so that could have been part of it.
And then you have the quality day from the bullpen. Tanner Banks, a shutout inning. Orion Kirkering, a shutout inning. Matt Strahm, a shutout inning. Max Lazar, a shutout inning where he strikes out 2, and that's in the top of the 10th when the zombie runner is on base. So he has the most difficult task. Banks, Kirkering, and Strahm all allowed a base runner. Banks via the walk, Kirkering via a hit, Strahm via walk. Lazar has to start an inning with the runner on second, and he strikes out 2, holds the Red Sox to 0 runs in the 10th, and then the Phillies win it in the bottom of the 10th. But again, this is one of those games where I go, look at what Zach Wheeler did. Look at what I've seen Christopher Sanchez do. Look at what I've seen a lot of the pitchers on the Phillies do, and yet I had to go to the bottom of the 10th and not win via a walk-off legit hit, win via a catcher's interference.
That's because your lineup stinks.
Yes.
And continues to stink. And it's weak. Now, that was a great pitching performance you had to face last night. So tip your cap and say you went up against some really good pitching last night, but that was a bad pitching. That was a bad hitting performance again. So again, this team just does not have. This team has too many holes in the lineup. There's so many. I don't know how many holes you can fix in it, and just shuffling guys around in the lineup. How many problems that fixes. But the pitching, as you speak of, it's absolutely. It gives you the opportunity. So I'm willing to convince myself of can they change their playoff chances a lot more in the next few weeks with a couple moves? Sure, they can absolutely do that.
I mean, I saw Brandon Marsh batting 6th again yesterday.
It's terrible.
And other than a bloop single, he's 1 for 4.
Nick Castellanos.
Yeah,
Nick Castellanos is playing top golf again. I mean, he's
had the big RBI yesterday.
I understand, but I have watched him for 3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
He's swinging it. He is swinging at stuff.
Yeah,
that is at his ankles. And he's getting fooled. Yes, he can get it. He's going to get hits. He's going to get the hit.
You need him to drive the baseball
but
more,
he's just not,
because he is your cleanup hitter.
Oh my gosh!
And he's slapping singles. I totally get it. Phillies get the win yesterday, but the big story kind of happens before the game. Even though we're gonna have a lot of fun with the Mundo Sosa thing, like that's great. That's baseball. It's such a weird game. But Dave Dombrowski spoke to the members of the Phillies media. So we are now 9 days away from the MLB trade deadline, 6 o'clock deadline.
31st.
On July 31st. And we had John Middleton speak over the weekend. And yesterday, it was Dave Dombrowski. So yesterday, we got to react to Middleton. Today, we get to react to the Pobo, as Connor Thomas calls him. It's been strange because the reporting has been all over the place, right?
What do you mean?
Like, the Phillies are going to be very aggressive, very aggressive, very aggressive. The teams that have been mentioned, the local reporters haven't said anything.
Right.
Then John Middleton speaks over the weekend, and we reacted to it yesterday, where he kind of brought up 07 through 11 and how they set themselves up for 10 years of a playoff drought with all the moves that they made, and they never amounted to a World Series post 08. And so it almost made you feel like, okay, he's kind of putting a leash on what Dave Dombrowski can do. That's kind of the sense I got. That's the feeling that we got.
I think that if you listened to him, that is exactly what he said.
And that's the owner. That's John Middleton.
That's the guy who he has to get approval from if he's going to take on salary.
So about 24 hours later, I would say, maybe a little bit more because it was an afternoon game, Dave Dombrowski spoke to the members of the media yesterday. Here he was talking about his mentality heading into the trade deadline.
Do you feel you'll be aggressive here with the trade deadline? Do you feel with the club where it is right now that you need to be aggressive?
Well, I can't say. We always are trying to be aggressive if we can, so we're trying to make additions. Any way you can help yourself, because this is the last time of year you can, July 31st, that's the last time you can make a move to try to help your club from outside the organization. So we will do what we can to try to make us better.
What do you think of the market with so many teams needing specific needs and stuff?
Well, it's different than some others because we are in a position where there are a lot of clubs that are still in the battle, but a lot of things change daily at this time. I think some clubs, when I talked to them last week, or we talked to them last week, they had one mindset, and then after a weekend of good or bad, they have another mindset. And that may change a couple more times between now and the 31st. It's, what's today, the 21st? I mean, you're talking about 10 days. In trading deadline, that's a long time.
And it is a long time because the team could go 2-8. That was hovering, and then all of a sudden they're sellers.
The Braves come out of the break. They lose 3 to the Yankees. They lose 2 out of 3 to the Yankees at home.
Right.
Maybe you go out there and you sweep the Yankees. Then you're feeling, all chesty. They don't feel that way today.
Right. Absolutely. So, in the beginning of that clip, he says, "Look, we always try to be aggressive."
You can say, "Hey, I want to be aggressive." Right now, let's say you and Christie. You guys saved up $500,000 cash to put down to go buy a house. You're going to sell your house. You saved up $500,000, and you're like, "We're going to go buy the house of our dreams." Well, that's great. You can be as aggressive as you want. The housing market,
right,
is totally different.
Yeah.
You may not find the house you want. You may not find the inventory. You may not find that the price is good because everybody wants the houses that are available.
Well, John, sometimes the markets shift. Are the tides shifting? With a player that a lot of Phillies fans would love to see here. Everybody's got an asking price, John, even those homeowners that don't want to part ways with their home.
Yeah.
Somebody comes with a big pile of cash.
Yeah.
Maybe you sell. We just talked about this player yesterday as if there was no shot. We'll discuss it next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans.
Tunis 97.5, The Fanatic on this Tuesday morning, the day when the Eagles report to training camp, Johnny.
Introductory speech. I'm sure we'll see clips of it,
Yeah.
Everybody shows up for the first day of school. You'll see players coming from their car, carrying boxes.
The giant TVs. No, they don't stay there anymore.
No, they're going into their lockers. So it's like anything you want to put in your locker that you took home during the off season.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's practice. So
that was the best about Lehigh, by the way. Seeing the guy that shows up with the giant, at the time, 40-inch screen TV.
Because they wanted to have their gaming system.
Yeah.
They wanted to have all that. So they had to have all that stuff moved in there. Box fans. That's what I always laughed at. Now, Arthur Blank at the Falcons, he built a courtyard by Marriott on the site of the Falcons training facility.
Okay.
So the Falcons, where the Falcons train, so imagine like NovaCare for the Eagles. Mm-hmm. He built a courtyard by Marriott. He had them build one. But it's not open to the public, but just for his players to do training camp.
That's actually kind of awesome.
So he just said, well, build me one of those as if it was a hotel.
Yeah.
It's got a pool.
It's got air conditioning.
It's got everything. It's got air conditioning. It's got
air conditioning. That's the big one.
It's got rooms. It's got the full-size beds for players and everything, and he had them build a hotel.
Yeah, that's not how Andy wanted it, man.
But the players actually to stay instead of going home and back and forth.
Yeah, well, the Eagles are Super Bowl champions. The Falcons
they stay. See, so there it is.
Going home is better.
I would rather go home any day of the week.
Absolutely. We'll talk a lot about the Eagles today. The return of Jeff McClain. Tuesdays with McClain at 8:25 today.
Hi, Jeff.
He took the 5-week hiatus, as he should. Amy Fadul later today. So a lot of Eagles stuff, but obviously starting with the Phillies after the strange win yesterday at Mundo Sosa, walk-off catcher's interference. But also, Dave Dombrowski spoke to the media and talked about how they're always trying to be aggressive. Now, yesterday, you and I kind of scoffed at our buddies on Unfiltered with Bill Colarulo and Ricky Batalico. More so Bill, because Bill's the one that is still dreaming of the Brent Rooker, Mason Miller package.
I'm still scoffing, but we'll get to this.
Both players have been untouchable. Mm-hmm. But according to Ken Rosenthal, who's one of the better reporters in Major League Baseball, says that one of the two, the ties shifted a little bit. A year ago, this according to Ken Rosenthal, Mason Miller was untouchable. To this point, the A's messaging this season is pretty much the same. But according to sources briefed on the team's plans, the stance is subject to change. The way the A's see it, only a few teams are bold enough to propose an offer worthy of consideration. So that talks about, the big package.
Absolutely.
And how aggressive a team will be.
Correct.
Those teams, number one mention, the Phillies.
Right.
Dodgers and Yankees figure to be near the top of the suitors list for the flame-throwing reliever, while the Padres and Mariners can never be counted out when top talent becomes available. I would be stunned if the Mariners even attempted to acquire him.
You would be, but it's that, they talk about it. Could they potentially do that?
Right.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
If Mason Miller, let's say Mason Miller's available, okay? Mm-hmm. Why would the Phillies be the team that, you'd be the A's. You'd be the A's.
Yeah.
I'm the Phillies. Okay, you're the A's. Okay, you got Mason Miller. And I'm going to say to you, hey, we want to give you Andrew Painter in a deal for Mason Miller. What are you saying if you're the A's? You're a good baseball man. What are you saying if you're the A's?
Probably do it.
What?
Well,
wait, 4 years control.
I'll start.
Plus the rest of this year of Mason Miller.
I'll start here.
Uh-huh.
I believe valuing a starting pitcher could be a little bit better than valuing a reliever.
Okay.
As dominant as Mason Miller is, he's dominant for an inning.
Okay.
Andrew Painter, you hope, could one day become dominant for 6 or 7 innings.
You hope he could.
On a given night.
Okay, you're a good baseball man. I like that.
To me, that's where I start.
Okay.
One guy impacts 2/3 of my game. The other guy impacts 1/9. of my game. That's where I would first start.
Let's talk about where they are now. Okay, so you're coming to the table and you're saying, okay, so tell me, let's look at him. So our scouts are looking at him. He's getting rocked in AAA with a 5 ERA. Tell me what's this package?
Well, Andrew Painter wouldn't be 1-for-1.
Okay,
Andrew
so what else are you coming with? What else are you coming with?
I would imagine the Tait, the 19-year-old catcher.
Okay, now you got my attention. You got my attention. A 19-year-old catcher.
I listen to Jason Stark.
Everybody likes this kid.
Croon. Everybody loves Croon. That's another guy. Like,
okay,
it would
throw him in. It's going to take.
It would be a big trade.
I think you're talking about if you're talking about 4 guys.
Yeah.
With Painter being one of them, I think you could get Mason Miller.
And then it would probably be a Crawford or Aiden Miller, I would imagine. Or maybe not Aiden Miller, but maybe it would be Crawford. Crawford goes out there. He's part of the out.
Wait a minute. You're thinking Crawford, you're going to give up Painter, Crawford, Tait, and one other to get Mason Miller?
Could be, because Mason Miller you have under control through 2029.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what you seriously you would do, you would do that deal? I think the A's would do it. I think the A's would do that in a second. I think if Dave Dombrowski does it, it's absolutely baseball malpractice.
I mean, for all of those guys, Rooker would have to be in that deal too.
Right, like somebody. Exactly. I don't think it would be Rooker. I think it would be somebody of note that could come with Miller that could make somewhat of an impact. I go back to. I know this is random. Cliff Lee and, you guys remember? Ben Francisco, a guy that
that doesn't do anything for you.
A platoon. Well,
that doesn't do anything for you though.
I was telling you right now, prime Ben Francisco is your second best outfielder on this baseball
team. Yeah, but right now it doesn't do anything for you as far as your plan about what you need to do. The bat you need to get. That's not the bat you need to get to make this team where you need to get.
Right.
So. If Dave Dombrowski made that deal, if he talked about because right now you're not dealing from a position of strength with leading a deal with Andrew Painter right now, unfortunately. Coming off Tommy John, getting rocked in AAA, and you're going to have to give up like a huge deal.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a big cost for Mason Miller. But for the first time,
they're willing to.
Last year, we wasted our time talking about him. Now all of a sudden, Ken Rosenthal says it's not a waste of time.
Yeah, but you're not moving 4 top 100 prospects.
You can't
for a closer.
Right. That's why somebody else would also come with it. I just don't know if
I don't think you're getting that.
All right. Well, coming up next, if you aren't totally sold on a prospect, let's have this conversation. If you aren't totally sold on a prospect, how do you balance using them as a trade piece or waiting to see if they turn the corner? It's Kincade and Salciunas on this Tuesday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
As weird of a walk-off as you'll ever see. I'm Connor Thomas and the Phillies. Well, I bet you haven't seen this one before. They took down the Red Sox 3-2 in 10 innings last night via a walk-off catcher's interference in the bottom of the 10th with Edmundo Sosa at the plate, making contact with Narvaez's glove back there behind the dish. Haven't seen that one in a while. Zach Wheeler, he did go 6 innings, 2 earned. He didn't have his best stuff, but still struck out 10 in the game. Bryce Harper, 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, so it's nice to see him get things going, but it was still a slow offensive night overall for the team. And Dave Dombrowski talked about the up-and-down offense yesterday before the game.
I mean, that's the way to describe it. It's been hot and cold. Some of that fix has to come internal. You're not going to go out and make a bunch of trades. But it's been inconsistent, and we need to get more consistent from the offensive perspective.
He did also talk about still trying to be somewhat aggressive at the deadline with 9 days till the trade deadline in baseball. We'll see what the Phils can cook up. Game 2 with the Red Sox is tonight at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez on the mound against Richard Fitz. The Eagles report to training camp today, marking the start of the preseason. Nick Sirianni will meet with media tomorrow morning for the first availability at camp. Tomorrow will also be the Eagles' first practice. We're going to talk to Jeff McClain coming up at 8:25. Amy Fadula from the 9 o'clock hour. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear...
Two. There was a highlight from the Chicago White Sox official Twitter account yesterday when Luis Robert Jr. hit an RBI single.
Yeah, they're begging somebody.
So Luis Robert Jr. is, 7 for his last 14. He's batting 500 since the All-Star break. He's raised his average up from 190 to 206.
Got to trade for him. Got to make trade.
You just
figured it all out.
No, he is going to play his tail off for the next 8 days.
Dude, this
guy
to
get out of Chicago.
He is such a malingerer, and you got people saying, well, what do you want? He plays for a lousy franchise.
Yeah.
Give me a break. What does professional baseball mean? Play like a professional.
Yeah.
This guy, he's been freaking mailing it in. I've heard this mail-it-in excuse on him. Well, he's played for a bad team. How do you expect him to come to work? That big paycheck that he's been sucking in?
Yeah, that paycheck helps.
Give me a break.
Paycheck helps out a lot. All right, so before we get to our text line today, I want to get into this conversation about the Phillies and the prospects. So we were talking about this trade for Mason Miller, and then
the idea that he might be available,
right? Because Ken Rosenthal said for the first time he is no longer considered untouchable. Go Birds Viper checks in, pining for quote prime Ben Francisco. Whoa, this outfield is trash. Yes,
hearing your
and
comment.
I mean it. Prime Ben Francisco is your second best outfielder on this baseball
and you're
team.
not winning a World Series with Ben Francisco.
No.
So if this team's goal is to make a move that's going to help them win a World Series, Ben Francisco can't be your back.
Well, again, in case people are just tuning in, why are they talking about Ben Francisco? Francisco was the throw-in to the Cliff Lee trade when you acquired Cliff Lee the first time, and Ben Francisco was the fourth outfielder that the Phillies were able to utilize. This was back when benches actually mattered, and you had pinch hitters and all that kind of stuff. So you bring up Andrew Painter.
Yep.
And you've been questioning him a lot this year about, just how good is this guy?
No.
He's getting...
I'm fine with. I'm questioning everybody rushing it. I have no problem with Andrew Painter's development, but I'd like to see it
because he's before
I anoint him.
Right.
Because what I hear is can't have Mick Abel at the major league level because Mick Abel is he's just been terrible which he hasn't, as I've documented for you. But Mick Abel, who goes down and dominates at AAA. And then Andrew Painter gets rocked at AAA. Mick Abel goes down to AAA, and they can't hit him. He just dominates them.
My guess is with Abel, this is my guess.
Okay.
Those last two starts, Mets, Padres, 4 earned runs, 5 earned runs, that trade stock went.
I bet.
Let's put him in AAA. He dominates. Maybe a team goes, all right, there's something there. We can work on this.
Correct.
And maybe they've kept him down there for a reason, and that's why Taijuan Walker's your starter for.
And that's probably what they're doing.
One or two more times.
But the comparison, though, is the fact is that Andrew Painter cannot dominate at that level.
Correct.
His development, people are rushing him. He's coming back from Tommy John. This is your top prospect, who everybody believes has all the stuff.
Right.
Let him calm down and let him get his footing under him. He's not ready, and he's certainly not ready for the major leagues.
So let me ask you guys this. How do you balance a trade piece? Right, they're all trade pieces.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're guaranteed to be traded.
No.
But they could be on the table when it comes to conversations about certain players. Andrew Painter could be a trade piece. Aiden Miller could be a trade piece. Justin Crawford could be a trade piece. And then obviously your Abels and everybody else. These guys, to your point, are developing. If you're not sold on a prospect, and you know me, I'm never sold on prospects.
You are not. Yeah, you are the Les Snead, the general manager of the Rams.
To me, they're
them prospects.
They're a bag of pennies. Just I'll throw them on the ground. Whatever.
Yeah, you don't feel the same way.
Prospects are prospects. How patient? So this question is more so for you guys probably because I'm so flippant with just getting rid of them. How patient are you when you're trying to balance? All right, we could move this guy, or this guy could end up being the person that everybody has talked about because Andrew Painter could go down as a big miss if you trade him, right? Because we have heard nothing but incredible things about Painter. And it's just unfortunate that he got hurt and he was dominating in the lower levels up until he got to AAA this year. Maybe AAA's just been enough. Maybe the arm's fatigued because he's coming off of surgery. Who knows? All the scouts, all the people that talk about him, he's going to be the next big pitcher. Or he could flame out. I watched Sixto Sanchez be called the next Pedro Martinez. He had elbow issues, if you guys remember.
Sure.
In the minor leagues. He comes up with the Marlins after they make the trade. He's dominant for like 2 or 3 starts. And then those elbow issues that he was dealing with put him in the Mexican League. He's no longer in professional baseball. He's no longer even in a minor league system. How do you guys, this is more so for you and our callers and texters at 610-632-0975, sort of balance your patience for a player developing versus, all right, we could get something big with this person right now?
Everybody's told me that Andrew Painter's the next big thing. So I'm patient.
Okay.
I'll be patient. I'm going to believe them. I'm going to trust that everybody who's been telling me how great he is, that I'm going to believe it. And so I'm going to be patient with him. Now, guys like Aiden Miller, guys like stuff like that, position players, not as much. Not as much. But a pitcher, a big arm pitcher, starting pitcher, I'm going to be more patient.
Connor?
It's dependent on team need. Looking at the next 3 to 4 years. That's how you determine who you're going to be patient with, which is why I'm more patient with Painter and Crawford than a guy like Miller or a guy like Mick Abel, because they fill more of a need for this team in the near future, I think. So those are the 2 guys that I don't really want to move from, because your outfield's a mess, and you will need a top end of the rotation arm. And I think Painter still has a better shot to be like a 1 or a 2, right? Like I think like Mick Abel right now could be a 4 or a 5 for a team. But I think Painter has the higher top end of the rotation upside, and the Phillies are going to need that in the post-Zach Wheeler years if the Aaron Nola contract doesn't work out, and it already looks like it's not going to. So that's where I'm at with those guys.
Now, if you think that, and John, you're listening to what everybody says about him, that means other teams probably view him that way too.
Right.
Which means teams want him.
Of course teams want him.
Right. So you're talking about the immediate future. You're right. You're going to need arms because Zach Wheeler's going to retire soon. We don't know who Aaron Nola is anymore. Ranger Suarez could be on his way out, right? Like, all these things could be true. Who's your upcoming bullpen help? Like, you don't have that. So Mason Miller could be the guy that solidifies your ninth inning. Like, every bridge to lidge. You need your bridge, and then you got your lidge. Mason Miller's your ninth inning.
It would be fantastic to have Mason Miller. We all agree. There's no argument. There's no sports talk topic on, would it be great to have Mason Miller? Yes. The idea that Andrew Painter's getting you Mason Miller, though, I think is just, you better be throwing in a lot more because you've got a proven commodity who's been dominant at the major league level, who you can control through 2029, for a guy who is struggling right now, who can't get guys out in AAA.
Yeah, I only mentioned
coming off of Tommy John, but the thing is, that's what I'm hearing people doing is like, they're thinking people are going, like literally with like lobster bibs going, oh man, Andrew Painter's on the table. Well, then put Mason Miller on the table. No, teams aren't doing that.
It wouldn't be 1 for 1. The only reason why I mentioned,
you better load up a lot more.
Yeah, they would.
A lot more.
They would have to. And the reason why I only mentioned Painters because he'll be the figurehead of that trade.
I'd love that deal, but I don't know if Mason Miller coming here in a deal for Andrew Painter, I can buy.
Can't wait for Rob Thompson to pitch him in the 6th inning.
But I don't want to give up my center fielder that I can have for 7 years of control. I don't want to give him up.
I hear you.
Like, I mean, I don't know what Aiden Miller is, but he looks a little overmatched this year at AA.
Right now,
is that what he is?
But again,
or is
that's
that
the conversation of patience versus are you sold on the guy?
Well, no, with him, position player, not as much. A pitcher, yeah, I can be a little more patient because the stuff is supposedly there.
Got it. All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line for the first time this morning. Also, Dave Dombrowski was asked about Alec Bohm and the trade deadline, not about what he did.
I would like to know what he did during it, because on the TikToks, it looked like he was pretty active for a guy who's injured.
You'll hear from Dombrowski on Bohm, and I'm going to say something that I've been saying for probably about 2 years now. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like round
3,500 to go, Johnny, right? How many?
Is that what it is? 3,500.
How many years would that be?
Well, it won't be me. I can promise you that. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, man, we got 10 more. We got 10 more Super Bowls to talk about.
Sorry, buddy. The way I played golf yesterday, I may decide to
go pro.
I may think about it.
Yeah.
Senior tour's calling.
May think about it. I'm considering it. I'm truly considering.
All right.
It. I'm thinking that
I called him Johnny Scheffler when I walked in.
I'm thinking the chemo did something in sort of like Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Did something with the drives, or it's the technology.
Could be a little bit of both.
Connor, might be the technology.
Could be a little bit of both, man.
Might be the technology.
Yeah, you're superhuman now.
There you go.
All right, so we'll get to our text here momentarily, but real quick, one more clip from Dave Dombrowski from yesterday. He was asked about the status of Alec Bohm, who we know just went on the injured list with the rib injury that we don't know how was sustained. We know he got hit by a pitch, and then he was able to play game one post All-Star break and then not again afterward. But Dave Dombrowski was asked if the injury to Alec Bohm sort of changes his plans for the trade deadline. Take a listen to Dombrowski.
How does the injury to Alec change how you maybe view the need for a right-hand cap?
I don't think at all, because he's not going to be out an extended period, so not at all.
All right. I have a question for you.
How did Alec Bohm get injured?
No, that's not my question.
Check the TikToks.
That's not my question. If there was an opportunity to upgrade at third base, is Alec Bohm worthy of not trying to do that?
Yes.
No.
Why?
No.
Because this is the same thing as trying to move stuff around for no reason if you don't have to. It's not a hole right now. It's not somewhere that you're going to spend prospects when we have other major needs on this team.
No, but what if you had a chance to upgrade third base?
Let's say Eugenio
and you move
Suarez.
Bohm, and you move Bohm to first, and you move Bryce with his permission, of course. You beg Bryce to do what's best for the team and move to the outfield.
I mean, if we're shifting things around, sure. But if it's just, we need to improve over Bohm, and that's the move, no.
All right.
Well, there's a lot of ways to improve over Bohm.
This is bar room talk.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I got
Total
you.
bar room. Eugenio Suarez comes here. They also acquire a Taylor Ward, who's not going to cost you all that much. These guys are both free agents after this year, so it should not cost you an arm and a leg. Harper stays at first because you now have one of your other corner outfielders. Castellanos is right. Taylor Ward's in left. Crawford comes up the center.
What did you give up for this?
I don't know. This is barroom talk. Well, the point I'm trying to make is Alec Bohm necessarily a player where you're like, we don't want to try to upgrade over this guy?
No. What have you seen of Alec Bohm that would be the case?
Singles. That's what I'm saying.
Bunch of slap singles.
That's what I'm saying.
Not even doubles.
I'm just saying.
My gosh. I'll tell you this, though.
What if he was in a package? What if a team wanted him because he's got 2 years?
Last year, everybody in Major League Baseball had a chance to get this young ascending player. Well, not young anymore. He's 30 now.
Yeah.
You know,
that's why his body's not recovering.
I guess it's not recovering from. Yeah, but his body's not recovering from his All-Star break.
Yeah,
because he wasn't injured going into the All-Star break. Something happened down at the Jersey Shore. It was well documented on social media with a lot of activities, and then he comes back and he can't play baseball. Wonder what happened. Wonder why it's not talked about. What happened?
I don't know, John.
Yeah, I got you.
He didn't look injured last week on all the videos.
Here's the thing. He's hurt. So either way, he'll be back
Wonder how he
at
got
some
hurt.
point.
Captain Bill's? I don't think Captain Bill's. The booths are a little tight.
Okay, there are bigger fish to fry than.
Well, hold on.
Bones.
No, this is a problem, Connor.
Hold on. All right, this is all speculation. We don't know how.
Just wondering. I'm wondering. Nobody's answering it.
Let me ask you this question,
Yeah,
because you're doing the whole. He's Bohm. He's hurt. He's going to come back. Let me ask you, in all seriousness, this is a team that may have come together to get him benched in the playoff game last year.
No, they did.
This is a team that what I thought, and you've kind of since confirmed for me, is angry with Jose Alvarado because of the suspension, because he cheated, because he did PEDs. And this is a window that is about this big right now in terms of the championship. For our YouTube audience, you see it. People listening at home, I don't have that big of a window between my index finger and my thumb because you know that this core is not going to be the same. If they're trying to take this thing as serious as possible, if Bryce Harper finds out, right, he's the voice of reason in that clubhouse, if Bryce Harper finds out that he got hurt because he was doing dives off of a dock. We don't know, right? We don't know. We're having some fun with it. You don't think they'd feel a certain type of way? Like, yo, dude, we're trying to win something here?
No, I do. I think Dave Dombrowski feels that way. I think Rob Thompson feels that way. Nobody's said anything questioning the injury as far as what they've said.
No one said anything about how he got injured.
Because we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that be weird? Like, wouldn't it be like, we're going to tell you why?
Well, they said the hit by pitch.
They said the hit by pitch.
So they missed it?
No.
So the Phillies
it just didn't get better.
And then after game one, at post All-Star break, Rob Thompson said when he swung, he tweaked it.
So he broke it? So it wasn't broken?
It was an aggressive swing.
So he broke the rib?
They might not have done an X-ray like off the rib. He stayed right in the game. He went right to first base. He might have just been like, I'm fine. Then he tweaks it. Then they're like, let's look at it because it should have been better by now if it was just a bruise. And then they say, okay, slight fracture, you're out.
So the Phillies medical staff, which by the way has not had a great year, been a lot of little things. It's almost like the Sixers' old medical staff took over. So the Phillies didn't do you're telling me they didn't check that?
Yeah, they don't X-ray every guy that gets hit.
The week before. Okay.
It's not every batter that gets hit by a pitch is immediately X-rayed after the game.
Okay.
So
I'm saying it's just as logical to me that
who knows?
All of a sudden
who knows? The point I'm trying to make is like he's not a guy where I'm like, we don't need to upgrade over.
Yeah, but that's not the point right now. Like there are so many things that this team needs over a potential upgrade at third base. Like let's keep our eye on the ball here, boys.
I would take Eugenio Suarez and his 35 home runs over Alec Bohm.
Sure, I would too.
Before the time I could stand up from this chair.
Yes, I understand, but I would take a lot of catchers in baseball over JT Realmuto offensively right now. We're not going to get a catcher.
One guy is.
Okay.
One guy is legitimately available.
Right.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. All right, what do we got on the text line?
Okay, so we have some check-ins here on the conversation with the Phillies prospects. This texter brings up something that is happening in the NL Central. Mike from Turnersville says, be patient with Painter. Brewers are an example. They were patient with Jacob Mizorowski, who had up and down minor league career. He's now an all-star on an NL team with the best record that has swept the Dodgers twice this year.
Yeah, I'm not looking to get rid of him. It's just
and
there could be a chance that he's a part of the trade package. Well, now that Mason Miller's name pops up, there's a chance that he could be a part of a trade.
Mason Miller is the type of controllable young talent that you would go, okay, that would be potentially worth it.
Yeah.
Because you have a major hole and here's something that can be fixed. But, wow, does this mean you and again, do you try to re-sign Ranger or not? If you would trade him off.
Yeah, you probably have to.
Do you trust Ranger to be can Ranger put together a year? We're going to find out in the second half.
Here's just what I think about, right? Like how many great closers in baseball are on teams that don't win versus how many great starting pitchers are on teams that don't win? Because I'd say that there's a lot more of the top 10 starters in baseball are on winning baseball teams, where you can find closers on losing teams every year.
Sure.
Well, yeah. You could have just kept Carlos Estevez, and they decided not to do that.
Yeah, could have done that. Had one of the best closers in the game.
Not the point.
All right, coming up next, we'll check some more text messages. Also, the team reports to camp today, the Birds. And John Kincade is putting us all on the spot today. That includes you. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A walk-off what? I'm Connor Thomas. I bet you haven't seen this one before. Phillies took down the Red Sox 3-2 in 10 innings last night via a walk-off catcher's interference with Edmundo Sosa at the dish. Wild way to win a ball game. Zach Wheeler helped. He didn't have his best stuff. He went 6 innings, 2 earned. He still struck out 10. Even when Wheeler's not his best, he's great. And Bryce Harper went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. Even though Harper's been looking better, it was still a slow offensive night for the Phillies. And Dave Dombrowski talked about the up-and-down offense yesterday before the game.
I mean, that's the way to describe it. It's been hot and cold. Some of that fix has to come internal. You're not going to go out and make a bunch of trades. But it's been inconsistent, and we need to get more consistent from the offensive perspective.
With 9 days till the trade deadline, we'll see what the Phillies can cook up. In Game 2 with the Sox is tonight at 6:45 p.m. Christopher Sanchez versus Richard Fitz, the pitching matchup. The Eagles report to training camp today, marking the start of the preseason. Nick Sirianni will meet with media tomorrow for the first availability of camp. Tomorrow will also be the Eagles' first practice. We'll talk to Jeff McClain of the Inquirer at 8:25. Amy Fadul joins us for the entire 9 o'clock hour. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through through July 31st. Learn more at MBUSA.com/dream. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hi, my name is Phil E. And for most of my sports fan life, I've been
day. It's amazing.
It's like they get to go home tonight. So it's like it's not like the same, but they get the first speech.
Right, exactly. The don't say repeat. That's a bad word at NovaCare.
I got the back in the day. I got the Commanders coach very mad at me.
Okay,
because he came to camp. So Dan Quinn comes to camp and he does his first speech, and he says, "Guys, I am so ready for this year. I'm as woke as I've ever been for the start of the year." And so we're there for the thing, and I'm like, okay, Dan Quinn doesn't know what woke means.
Okay.
So we were playing the clip. Dan doesn't understand what woke means. Well, he didn't understand what the word woke meant. So he was like, I'm as woke as I've ever been for the start of the season. And it was just really so then we did a whole show on like what sometimes square white people don't understand. And I used a bunch of things that I didn't understand. So they were throwing terms at me that I potentially didn't know. So we're having fun with it. Boy, when Dan showed up for his coffee, he was not happy. No, he wasn't a bad sport about it, but he was not happy. You know, didn't understand what woke meant at the time.
He learned about it.
He learned about it. Now he's really woke, I bet. He's very, very woke.
All right, so real quick, before we get to our Eagles talk, I saw one of our comments on YouTube.
Okay.
It said, here you go. Trevor Rice checks in.
Okay.
What did I wake up to? Alec Bohm hate again. All right. All I'm trying to say is there are upgrades to Alec Bohm. So let's not use Alec Bohm. Let's use a player that maybe people don't love so much as an example. Nick Castellanos, right? Guy that's been consistent for you. Guy that hits what? He's hitting 270 this year. Home runs aren't up, just like Alec Bohm. But he's been a consistent staple for this team for the last couple of years.
Okay.
If I said there's upgrades to Nick Castellanos, do people get so upset about it?
What is the problem with?
Well, people like the daycare stuff. And so
the daycare's dead. They've even said it themselves.
I know they have.
I mean, like Bryce Harper declared it dead. I mean, come on, stop. They're 30 years old. You can't be a daycare at 30. Alec Bohm's a 30-year-old man. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop it.
The point I'm just trying to make is, like, there are a lot of players on this team, and I do realize, Connor, that that's not something that they're going to address. Like, I realize.
They tried to address it last offseason, and nobody in baseball wanted him.
Right.
Not one team.
I'm just saying, to get, like, so upset that somebody might say that there's improvements to players.
Oh, my gosh.
That's
no, like, I'm not mad at that.
I'm not saying to you.
Yeah.
I'm saying that to our YouTube commenter saying Alec Bohm hate again. Like, no, there's a third baseman that we know is available at the market, the trade deadline, in Eugenio Suarez. I wouldn't say now we're good.
Wait a minute, so wanting to upgrade a position in sports now is hate? Like two?
I don't know.
Are we at that?
Well, maybe he's taking exception to the injury talk. Who knows?
Well, I mean, seriously, the injury talk, it'd be great if we found out how he got injured. It's very, very interesting. That'd be great. Just usually you hear about a player injury.
Maybe
you hear how it happened.
Maybe we'll find out.
We might find out.
Who knows? Who knows?
Could be in one of the TikToks.
You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It is a Tuesday morning. It is July 22nd. Why is that special, Johnny? Because the Eagles report to training camp today. Now, you are going to put everybody on the spot today.
Yes.
Not just Connor and I.
The entire listening audience.
YouTube chat, text messengers, callers, tweeters, grammars, TikTokers.
Grammars.
Whatever you want to call it, you're putting everybody on the spot today. So have at it, Johnny.
Okay.
What are you asking all of us to do today on the day the Eagles report to camp on the road to repeat?
I love the road to repeat. Let's get on that, Matt Menark. How far are you willing to go? And I ask everyone to say this today because I have my final prediction. How far are you willing to go? What I want from you is this. Maybe I'm just a little obsessed as I prepare for The Price is Right. The minimum prediction as far as how far are you willing to go for your prediction for the Philadelphia Eagles, where you guarantee you will not be wrong. Your prediction may be, I guarantee they make the playoffs, but I'm not willing to guarantee they even win a playoff game. Your prediction may be, I guarantee they make the playoffs and they've won the division, so they win their first playoff game because they play it at home. I guarantee they win the division, they win their first playoff game, and they win their second playoff game and then go to the NFC Championship game. Or I guarantee this team wins the NFC Championship and goes to the Super Bowl. But remember, you may think this team has a great chance to win the Super Bowl, but what I'm asking you is, how far are you willing to go where you guarantee your prediction will not be wrong? So you're not going to fall off that cliff. So even if you think they're going to be a great team, where do you know your prediction is on complete solid ground? And I'll tell you, I'll lead with it. I got it where my prediction is this. Last year, I told you guys there would be a NFC Championship game pregame show in your future. That was going to be a day where on the Fanatic NFC Championship game, be ready for it, there's a game. January 25th, 2026.
So a day earlier.
Yeah, it's a day earlier. There will be a Birds NFC Championship game pregame show on the Fanatic. But that's as far as I will go. I will not predict an NFC Championship game victory. I will not predict a Super Bowl victory. But I will predict that the Birds will be one of the 4 teams left standing. Because the game today is, how far are you willing to go where you believe I'm going to guarantee my prediction will not be wrong? And that's where I believe my prediction will not be wrong. Like last year, I believe this is a Final Four team, and I'm on steady ground, strong ground. I look at the landscape of the NFC, and I said, yeah, they will be one of the 2 best teams in the NFC at the end of the year.
Well, show's over because I agree with you.
No, do you really?
Yeah.
I wondered where you'd end up.
Well, you guys laughed at me, probably 2 or 3 months ago when we did the, Super Bowl or bust conversation. I said, wow, really? I'm just going to go NFC title game or bust. And I was Mr. Softy, Wustunis, whatever nickname you guys wanted to call
I can read
me.
back through them. We probably still have the
got it.
text.
By the way, the date was, in case you were interested.
Oh, you have the date.
I do. Yeah,
That's right. I
have
forgot
it all.
these. April?
I pinned it down. It was, let me make sure I get the dates. I pinned it down.
I just love that you
April
say
9th.
this. April 9th.
Andrew was Mr. Softy.
Mr. Softy.
Mr. Softy, because Andrew said because of the fact that we would not say that it was Super Bowl championship or bust, and that was the quote, that we would not say Super Bowl championship or bust for this season, that we were not in any way like being the same fans.
You guys were saying Super Bowl championship or bust. I was saying NFC championship game or bust. That's what I was saying. And
soft. A little soft.
Which I think is hilarious. If I said wild card round or bust, that's soft. If I said plus
but
500,
the thing is though, that's
bust,
different.
that's
But it's different than today's exercise, because for the Eagles,
right.
The Eagles shouldn't have our prediction. The Eagles shouldn't have our goal. The Eagles' goal should be, when you're the odds-on betting favorite to win the Super Bowl, or the second best, depending on what sports book you're with. Mm-hmm. When you are the defending Super Bowl champs, when you have this roster, the Eagles should not have any goal but to go get another ring.
Yeah, like let's do this way so everyone gets it, right? The Phillies, before the season, were World Series or bust. Yeah. That's the only thing that's acceptable.
Because the window is closing.
Now, if you ask me what I would guarantee with the Phillies, I'd say they'll make the playoffs. Anything past that, I can't say. So I would have World Series or bust expectations with the guarantee sitting at they'll be a playoff team.
I understand.
See, that's a little different.
I understand the exercise.
So yours is
I just
where?
think it's extremely difficult to get to back-to-back Super Bowls, or 3 in 4 years. Can this team do it? Absolutely.
So you're where I'm at.
But I will say that I can guarantee you an NFC title game. Now, I will go one step further.
Okay, are you going to say it's here?
It's at Lincoln Financial Field.
Okay, so okay, that's good.
And here's why. Because, A, they win their division. B, the NFC North will not have a 15-2 team, a 14-3 team, an 11-6 team. I just can't see that happening this year again. The NFC South, I think the Buccaneers win this one a little bit more easily than in years past, where it seems to be coming down to the final week of the regular season. But do I think the Bucks are a team that will win 13 games? I really don't. I don't have their schedule in front of me. I would have to look at it, but they too are playing a first-place schedule. And then the NFC West, I think the Rams take a step forward, but I have to legitimately think, when is Matthew Stafford going to sort of fall off? We thought we saw it 2 or 3 years ago. He had like his 6th resurgence of his career, right? I think the Cardinals will be better this year. I think the 49ers will be better this year. I think the NFC West is going to be a dogfight. I believe that the Eagles could legitimately win 11 to 12 games this year, and 12 wins could be enough in this year, in the 2025 season, to be a top seed in the NFC. And that's why I will go one step further. I will guarantee an NFC title appearance, and I believe it would happen here in Philadelphia.
So you go bolder than I do. You go one step bolder than I do. Connor?
I go one step back. Divisional round, right? They will win a playoff game, but I can't guarantee, because there's just so much. Think about the Rams game last year at Lincoln Financial Field, a team that you handled in the regular season. You were a Stafford throw away from being out.
But remember, you don't, by the divisional round, you don't even have them necessarily winning a playoff game.
Right, yeah, if they do win that. But that's the tough thing when you get to that point.
Because you might have them just winning the division. They could be the 1 seed and they could lose.
Yeah, unless you get one of those weird games where like a team like, I don't know, the Broncos goes through and they win in the first round, like a team of that ilk with a young quarterback. Everyone left at the divisional round can play. Those teams can knock you off. So my guarantee is that they'll be there, but I can't go NFC Championship game. Even though I do think they're going to win the Super Bowl again, that's the only guarantee I'll make.
So Connor says divisional round they'll be playing. I say NFC title game they will play in. Andrew says NFC title game they will host.
Yeah. Now, Andy,
Now we're trying to play it like cliffhangers on Price is Right. You're trying to make your prediction as far as you guarantee that you will not be wrong.
Andy B just says on YouTube, LOL. I always love that. You dudes just hedge your bets all over the place. If I say that they're hosting the NFC title game, that's...
How is that hedging your bets?
I am telling you that I think the Eagles host the NFC Championship game. What is that?
What is that hedging a bet? What are you talking about?
I'm not guaranteeing you that they win the game, I'm guaranteeing you that they get to the NFC Championship game and host it.
He was probably one of the people LOLing me last year saying that I was a pom-pom shaker when I told you that the Eagles would host the NFC title game.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now,
How'd you like the game there?
Coming up next.
LOL.
Have we truly realized
for God's sakes.
Have we truly realized how special things are right now with the Eagles? And I don't think the answer is yes, based off of another comment I just read. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The summer's here, and you know what that means. Engagement season. But remember, don't force it.
Don't tell your significant other something so ridiculous they almost...
live bet sports on the BetParks app and play all your favorite casino games. BetParks has a great offer for new users. Got to be 21, Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, so have we truly realized how special things are right now when it comes to the Eagles? Apparently the answer is not for some. I can't say no and speak for everybody because I think we all realize how special things are with the Eagles right now. But I look at our YouTube chat, and it's funny, John. This was a topic I put on the show sheet at, 5:30 in the morning, not expecting what I would see on our chat board this morning in response to our last conversation about how far are you willing to guarantee something. Money Mar checks in. I guarantee 10 wins.
Okay,
right.
so that's the process that we're talking about. He guarantees 10, so he's iffy on 11.
Right.
Mike Missanelli yesterday I saw with that, it's like he's iffy on 12.
Got it.
Not on 11.
And some people can guarantee NFC title games being hosted, or somebody can guarantee
NFC title game appearance.
or 10 wins.
Right, exactly.
It's wherever people feel comfortable going. So I see, well, actually, Money Mar checks in again. And this is the person that makes me think apparently not everybody realizes how special we have it right now.
Okay.
It's no way possible that the Eagles won't have to win in the playoffs on the road for the entire postseason.
For the entire postseason.
They can't possibly win the division with this schedule. It's virtually impossible.
Really? But they're the odds-on betting favorite at the majority of casinos to win the Super Bowl.
Correct.
But Money Mar, is it Money Mar?
Money Mar, yes.
But Money Mar believes that there's no possible chance that they can win the division
based off of the schedule.
Even though they're the odds-on betting favorite by the betting experts to win the Super Bowl.
I know the opponents are difficult this year.
Yes, they are. It's difficult. It's difficult.
The Eagles are the best team in football, right?
Right.
So,
that's really interesting, though.
So everybody has to play up to the Eagles. So if you want to say, if Money Mar goes, hey, I think the Commanders win this division and the Eagles lose by a game, we can have that conversation.
You realize they play the same schedule?
Yeah, pretty much. But to say it's virtually impossible.
How could it be virtually impossible when the Eagles are the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl?
And then
that makes no sense. That absolutely makes no sense.
And then Mark Angelone checks in.
Okay.
3 homers, putting Eagles in the NFC Championship game and act like it's a surprise.
Connor did not. So
thanks for listening.
So the math is off. So math can challenge people. I get it. So 2 did. And this is the same chucklehead response that I got last year.
Yeah.
When I said it last summer and it was, oh yeah. Oh, hear the homers? Yeah. In other words, there's sometimes it's analysis and sometimes it's right. There you go. It's
so
good.
LOL
on that one. I'm putting an LOL on that one.
All right. I'm not trying to wage a war here, even though it always seems like we're getting attacked. But whatever.
LOL.
I'm honestly curious. Do people think the Eagles aren't the best team in football? Or do
No. I can understand if someone doesn't, but they're
a really good football team.
They're the best. They are the people who do this for a living think they are the best bet to hoist the Lombardi.
Correct.
The majority of them. The majority. Not all of them. In fact, the vast majority have them as the betting favorite. So the people who study this, so are they homers for the Eagles? I ask you the question because this is where these discussions get nonsensical. Are they homers for the Eagles? No. They are objective, trying to study everything and look at all the teams and go, oh, okay, the Eagles are right there. I would think in my mind, the reason that I wouldn't put it that way is as far as the teams that I put in their neighborhood in the NFC. I put the Rams in their neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. The Lions.
In their neighborhood. Lions in their neighborhood.
And again, everybody's saying, oh, offensive coordinator, the Kevin Patullo thing. We've talked about it. They have 2 new coordinators.
By the way, I put on the outside of the neighborhood, like maybe looking over the fence, I put Packers.
Okay.
I think the Packers are going to be really, really dangerous.
I think the Commanders are out there too. They're like in the two houses across from the entrance to the neighborhood.
They may be. No, the Commanders are one of those teams that they bought the cheapest house in the neighborhood.
Yeah, they're bringing the property value down a little bit,
Right.
but they're there. They're neighborhood adjacent.
They may be in the neighborhood. They may be the cheapest house in the neighborhood, but they're there.
There's other really good football teams. It's just
I don't think there's a lot in the NFC. I really don't.
I'm just amazed because I'm reading more and more, and these are the people that are our YouTube chats here every single day, and we appreciate them, right?
And they're diehard Philly people, a lot of them.
And I'm seeing more and more JKing or J King. I'm not sure how he wants it phrased. Eagles will take a step back. The Commanders or Cowboys will win the division. These are the Eagles fans, right? Joseph Brennan, when going back to the guarantee conversation that we had.
Okay.
Can they guarantee Hurts or Saquon don't get injured? I can have the same conversation about Goff
Can I
and
guarantee
Gibbs.
Jaden Daniels doesn't get injured? Can I guarantee Dak doesn't get injured? Look, we can't do that. The one thing you do when every one of the publications puts out a guarantee, or when any one of them puts out what they do is they guarantee it based on what they know. You can't predict injury.
So I want more reaction.
How about substance?
At 610-632-0975. All right, calls, text right now. 610-632-0975. It's almost like the week-by-week Eagles thing, how Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we're nervous, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday the Eagles are going to win. Are we reaching a point where we're overthinking these things?
Not we. No.
Some people.
No.
People are mentioning that, all the players that they lost on defense. Yeah.
That's a part of it.
That absolutely.
That's why I'm taking one step less than last year. You're where I was last year. I'm taking one step less than last year.
Are we all of a sudden nervous about the upcoming season in July? I'm stunned by the reaction that we've gotten so far. Let us know. 610-632-0975. Also, I don't know what the official date for Howie Roseman Appreciation Day will be, but maybe yesterday is a good idea for it. The latest from Jerry's World is next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phil's walking off. Well, kind of. I'm Connor Thomas, and it was a weird end to the game last night for the Titans. They won 3-2 over the Red Sox in 10 innings via the walk-off catcher's interference, and Mundo Sosa hitting the glove of Boston's catcher. First time since 1971 it's happened at the Major League level. Zach Wheeler went 6 innings, 2 earned. He didn't have his best stuff, and he still struck out 10. That guy's amazing. And Bryce Harper went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, so he's starting to find his stroke at the plate a little bit. It still was a slow offensive night for the Phils, though, and that's been a theme this year. Dave Dombrowski talked about the offense before the game.
I mean, that's the way to describe it. It's been hot and cold. Some of that fix has to come internal. You're not going to go out and make a bunch of trades. But it's been inconsistent, and we need to get more consistent from the offensive perspective.
With 9 days till the trade deadline in Major League Baseball, we'll see what the Phils can cook up. Game 2 against the Sox is tonight at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez versus Richard Fitz, the pitching matchup. The Eagles report to training camp today, marking the start of the preseason. Nick Sirianni will meet with media tomorrow, and tomorrow will also be the Eagles' first practice. Jeff McClain joins us at 8:25. Amy Fadul will join us for the entire 9 o'clock hour. This update is brought to you by Family Jewelers. Getting engaged? Get her a ring that'll light her eyes up. See Angelo and the team at Family & Company Jewelers on Route 70 in Marlton, South Jersey's diamond destination. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The summer's here, and you know what that means.
It's 97.5, The Fanatic. Coming up in a few minutes, you're going to hear Jerry Jones just maybe put on a masterclass of what not to do. You'll hear that coming up in a few, which is why I think July 21st should be Howie Roseman Appreciation Day, just based off of how Jerry Jones is handling the Micah Parsons contract negotiations. But last segment, I'm stunned. We were talking about the Eagles and just having like a fun exercise of like guarantees, right? And
how far will you go without falling off the cliff?
Yeah. And saying I guarantee a home NFC title game, yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, but I feel really good about this football team, right? Like, this team is built. Again, built. Joseph Brennan says, well, you can't guarantee that guys don't get hurt. I get it. I'm basing this.
That's every team.
It's every team.
Stop. You got to throw that out.
I understand what you're saying, but, like, that's – come on. Lighten up. This team – for the first time in a long time, is built to be a dynasty. Built. I'm not guaranteeing you that they become a dynasty. I'm just telling you that they are built for it. The fact that they have a young, inexpensive defense right now, much like the Chiefs have had, and a top-heavy offense. We know how good the offensive line is for the Eagles. We know how good Saquon Barkley is. We know how great the receivers are. And we know that Jalen Hurts can damn win. So that's why I feel very, very comfortable, especially if I believe that they could be the 1 or 2 seed in the NFC. I will say 1 seed because I think the NFC North beats each other up this year more so than last year. I don't believe there will be a 15 and a 14 win team in that division. The Eagles could very well be the 1 seed with 12 wins this year, which is right around the mark that I have them winning this season. We've gotten a lot of pushback. It's kind of like deja vu because we were the beacons of light in Philadelphia last summer, John. And I'm guessing that's the case again now. What do we have on the text line, Connor? Because I know that's you two. They don't speak for everyone. We don't speak for everyone. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So what are the people saying?
Troy from Lancaster checks in and says, I would guarantee Eagles making the playoffs, division winner or wild card, but I wouldn't put them past the second round. Their ceiling is Super Bowl. The floor is losing in the second round potential.
Okay, and that's fine.
And that's good. That's the floor where you say the minimum is. I have no problem with that one. Like, you're trying to pick to the point that you say, okay, I guarantee I'm not going to be wrong to that point. I'm not saying they're going to go out. They may go further, but I know that's where I expect them.
There's been a conversation going on online about the 19 years since there's been a back-to-back division winners. I get it. That is a trend that's there. I just think this is the year where it breaks. You said that like 10 times, but I truly feel that way because I believe the Commanders take a step back. All right, that's what I keep on basing this off of. I don't think the Eagles are going to win 14 games this year, but I don't think the Commanders are going to win 13 games this year. What else we got?
We also have a check-in here, a little bit more positive from Mike from Levittown. He says, my guarantee, the Eagles will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Anything can happen in the Super Bowl, so I'll leave that be, but they'll fight for the 1 seed, meaning a 12 to 15 win season is ahead, and the other big dogs in the NFC simply don't match up with them.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't say they don't match up. Like, if the Lions struck gold on their coordinators, that team is still very, very good.
Okay, now remember, though, you're saying that. They got to hit on both.
Yeah.
And they have to do well. By the way, the Eagles have to do well on their offense coordinator, but I'm going to...
Right. Patullo could stink.
He could. We saw it 2 years ago.
He could be horrible.
They had an incompetent offensive coordinator 2 years ago.
Yeah. Good thing is you don't also have an incompetent defensive coordinator, which that year you dealt with both. All right, give us one more text message because I'm amazed by the pushback we've gotten this morning.
People need to hear this. Eagles fans, open your ears right now. Steve in Thorndale checks in. He says, I'm not an Eagles fan. Says he's a Broncos fan. I'd like to apologize, Steve, for the shot at the Broncos earlier when we were talking about the playoffs.
They caught a stray from you.
Yeah, my bad. But he says, but I constantly find myself defending this team, the Eagles fans. I don't get it. They will be in the Super Bowl again, barring a major injury. They're so talented and disciplined.
I have no idea why the mentality is what it is, but it is. It just is. It's that, like, it's so weird is that, I got a couple people here, chiming in on socials going, how can you be homers when you're talking about the team that is the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl by the betting odds by people who are completely independent? So even when we're favorites, people want to treat things like we're underdogs. You're not a homer if you think the team that is the regarded as the best in football,
Right.
is expected to go to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. And you can't do injuries because that's every team. You can say, well, the Bengals will be great, but if Joe Burrow gets injured, they're not going to be. Okay, thank you, Sherlock. We got you. If the Ravens, man, they're going to be hard to beat. What if Lamar goes down, then all bets are off. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the insight. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's for every team. We got you. Gotcha. There's no team that's going to survive when you're talking about the straw that stirs the drink.
Now, what makes me even more confident is that Jerry Jones isn't the owner of this team.
Oh, my gosh.
We have a couple of clips to play for you. So, Micah Parsons is going to get paid. And he's going to get paid a lot of money. So, last week, we played audio for you and we reacted to it on Friday when Jerry Jones said he's willing to wait to pay Micah Parsons because he just wants to get more information. And he is not afraid to overpay good players. If you pay early, you're not paying as much. But okay, Jerry, you do you. And my first question for you both was, do we have to see more to find out whether or not Micah Parsons is good at football? We all agreed that he's very good at football. And he's setting historic numbers, as you have brought up, in his early years in the NFL.
He is, honestly, no matter what anybody thinks of him or likes him or whatever, he's on a Hall of Fame track by a mile.
Right.
Like not even close.
Yeah. And we could put aside our Cowboys hatred for a second. He's a very, very, very good football player, and we would take him in a second.
There you go.
We have two clips for you. We'll start with this first one. Here is Jerry Jones talking about Micah Parsons and maybe why he's hesitant to pay him right now.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
I'm just going to read you what J.J. Watt said on Twitter because he said it perfectly. In response to that clip right there, anytime you can publicly take a dig at your star quarterback and your star pass rusher simultaneously right before the season begins, you just got to take it. Nothing makes guys want to fight for you more than hearing how upset you are that they got hurt while fighting for you. What was that from Jerry Jones?
It's something that you should say in your front office conversation with maybe like your brain trust quietly while you debate how you pay a guy. You do not say it to the media about specific players.
And then like Dak Prescott caught a stray there. Like, yeah, I paid somebody else the most money in the sport and he wasn't around. Like, whoa. And then he just goes further because Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones.
The other thing I would say is contracts are 4 or 5 years. Okay? There's a lot of water under the bridge if you step out there and do something in the first 2 or 3. You can get hit by a car. Seriously. And so there's a lot to look at over a lot of years that could make a big difference. Have you ever heard of any clubs committing to players and then they didn't pan out after they committed to them? We have.
What are you doing, dude?
I'm going to tell you, I know we love to make fun of Jerry Jones.
Yes.
I'm worried about Jerry Jones. When I heard them yesterday, I'm honestly worried about him. Like I'm not. I don't have a personal interest in Jerry Jones. Like as far as that, if I was his family, I would be concerned. I'd be concerned because there seems like something's wrong.
I guess
that's a weird. That is a really weird. I feel like it's a man who's losing it.
You could go out there and get hit by a car, then players should sign 1-year deals forever, Jerry. Like, the Phillies signed Bryce Harper to a 13-year deal. Like, do you think John Middleton thought, what if? Like, That is an insane thing
That's
to
insane.
say.
Yeah.
And maybe to your point, there's a reason why he said something insane.
That to me is really, really strange.
But that's like, yo, dude. And Micah Parsons, by the way, retweeted J.J. Watt's tweet. I don't get it. Unless maybe they have a deal. Maybe Micah goes, hey, say all the insane things you want because then I react to it on my podcast, which gets views. I don't know. Maybe they have some weird under-the-table agreement. Insane stuff said by Jerry Jones there. All right, coming up next, we'll talk more about Howie Roseman. We'll talk more about the Eagles. And I have a question about comfort, which is something that we're not really used to. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ray Dunn, Mike Missanelli.
I really think it's the Eagles that win this division.
Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic, in a weird day where I thought we were going to just like sort of have fun. The Eagles are back, and so are the Eagles scaries, apparently. That all of a sudden now the Eagles are returned to training camp. It's, there hasn't been back-to-back winners in the division in 20 years. Oh, nobody can guarantee me that Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley will stay healthy. I'm stunned that this is where we are today. I thought today was going to be just a fun day where the Eagles are back, man. You're wearing your Kelly Green Eagles shirt today with the old Eagle logo. Like, it's
nervous.
Great. And that's not what we're getting today, which is interesting. By the way, Jeff McClain joins us coming up at 8:25 to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles returning to camp today. Amy Fadul will be with us for the entire 9 o'clock hour. We'll get back to our text messages here momentarily. But feeling comfortable is something that we don't really get often in this city when it comes to our sports teams. Howie Roseman has done that for us. Now, that doesn't mean blind faith.
No.
But it's one of those where if he makes
we don't really do the blind faith thing too well.
But if he makes a move, you go, all right, I have a sense of comfort that this is going to work out, and if it doesn't, there's a plan B. Bryce Huff, perfect example last year. That was their big move. It didn't work out. They won the Super Bowl, right? They traded him.
And then what was the move at linebacker? Didn't work out either.
Yeah, but Zach Bond was the backup plan, and then he's an all-pro.
Now he's one of the highest priced.
Right. It's amazing. Howie Roseman, and again, it's amazing considering where we were like 6-7 years ago with him. Howie Roseman has provided us such a comfort that he just has whatever formula in place, not just cap related, but draft picks. When everybody zigs, he zags, all that kind of stuff. Whereas the other teams, we don't have that, right? Like, I haven't had that comfort with Dave Dombrowski and the Phillies. Nobody has that comfort with Daryl Morey and the Sixers.
No.
And I think there's still a lot to be determined with the Flyers. You and I are excited about it.
Very excited about, but we're not going to see the results.
No, not for
fostering.
years.
Yeah, they're fostering. They're fertilizing and they're watering. And
yeah, they're doing the Siriannis.
We all fertilize.
Who, by the way, Andy B on our YouTube chat saying, objectively, Nick Sirianni is still problem number one with this Eagles team.
Wow,
which is it's amazing. Look, there are people that still feel a certain type of way about Nick Sirianni. About how, that was Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio won the Super Bowl, right? There's going to be a lot of people that will not give Nick Sirianni first credit. And I don't blame anybody for not going Sirianni first. But
I would think first credit for the Super Bowl, if someone said to me they give Vic Fangio as far as coaching first credit, I think they have an argument.
Yeah, I think there's an argument. But to say that Sirianni is problem one, I think is insane.
No.
But
his players would never agree with that text.
Yeah, we're having a very strange last 30 minutes. Let's go to Josh in King of Prussia. Josh, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
You know, fellas, I woke up this morning happy. First of all, happy Go Birds Day.
Thank you, buddy. Go Birds.
Secondly, what happened this past half hour? Sirianni's been to the playoffs every year as a coach, 2 Super Bowls, and was 1 flag away from winning both of them.
Yes.
And I don't like people that want to argue and worry about health. It is professional sports, folks. It can happen to anybody. Assume nothing. Enjoy the ride. We are defending Super Bowl champions, unless you ask the team. And, that's a new season. But,
right.
I'm so confused right now.
Isn't it weird? And Josh, you know how people think about Philadelphia media, right? That, they're the negative ones. They're always, saying things are bad, blah, blah. This is back-to-back years where John and I are talking about our high expectations and immediately getting pushback. It's strange.
Last year I understood it a bit because of how 2023 ended. But, we stopped the Chiefs in the Super. The last game we saw ended 40-6. I don't care what the final score line says. In my opinion, it was 40-6.
I like that.
We saw the Birds on the field.
The bar that Connor and I were at, Patty Wax on South Street, in the third quarter, people were exiting to make their way to
get ready
Broad
to go
Street.
Party. Yes,
in the third quarter.
So what has happened between February 9th and July 22nd to raise all I don't get enjoy the fact that we are the hunted. Enjoy the fact that we team. Yeah, the schedule is going to be tougher this year, but you know what? there's only one quarterback in the last 25 years that has lost their first Super Bowl appearance and even gotten back to it, much less winning it. And by the way, he wears number 1 in Philadelphia.
He does.
Damn right, Josh. Go
Josh.
Birds, man. Way to breathe some fresh air here.
TJ wants to know, is there any chance that the YouTube chat this morning could be a huge wake and bake situation gone wrong?
Good question.
I don't know. I won't speak to that. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. And I don't think it's everybody. It's a few.
There are debates currently happening.
There are debates, and the thing is, a lot of times with the YouTube chat, it's a debate that breaks out amongst the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
So it's not like everybody is saying it.
The reason why I'm so fascinated by it is it's because that's the immediate thing I see. I don't see the text line. Connor reads the text, right? I see a caller on hold. We go to it. Like, I see when we say something, there's like a 15-second delay. So
and
I see the immediate reaction. And the immediate reaction from the people that are here every day, the Philadelphia fans that are here every day.
And they are Philly fans, and they're diehards.
Yeah. They're oh, but what about this? What about this?
Okay, I
what
get
about this?
And the thing is, I get all of that. And I get by the way, I get all the angst about it, too.
Sure.
I really do. Like, I understand the angst about it.
Yeah, we did a show last week about your angst. It was 50 days of therapy for John Kincade because of the Kevin Patullo stuff.
I understand there's issues that give you – I think there's legitimate things to have concerns about. But it's so funny. Like, another one here, I'm going to look at this one here, is Morgan going, explain to me again how the odds-on betting favorite to win the Super Bowl – thinking that they're just going to make it to the NFC title game somehow makes you guys homers. That is the stupidest thing that I've heard, and we're all dumber having heard it. Good movie reference there. I mean, that is the dumbest thing. That's the dumbest thing ever. That's like, I'm predicting I'm not willing to go 2 wins more. And they're the odds on betting favorite to get those 2 wins.
Yeah. I just think some people in this town aren't good at winning.
I think you're Connor expound.
Hungry dogs run faster.
Yeah. We like wearing the underdog masks and
No.
doubting
I don't
ourselves.
even think it's a want to be the underdog. Like, I don't think that's it.
You don't think it is?
No, I think just people don't understand that when you're top dog, like some people in this fan base, strut your stuff. All right? You don't get these opportunities very often. It could be gone soon, but it's here this year.
What did we do every day last year?
Well, chest day.
It was chest day every day on Kincade and Salciunas.
Yeah, we did enjoy it.
Everywhere else was skinny, but my chest was popping.
We did enjoy it
because we did chest day every day on the show. A lot of people just need to join us. Join us at the gym.
Get on the bench. Put some reps up. Let's go.
Right, man. It doesn't have to be much. These noodle arms can't handle much.
What do you got, like 145?
The way I was driving it yesterday, Connor.
It's about reps, not about the weight, Connor.
Yeah.
Come on, man. All right, coming up next, we'll reset today's show, a show that has taken a turn, a show that I was not prepared for, but a show that I'm having fun with. We'll reset all of our topics. We'll check our text line. By the way, you mentioned the Billy Madison movie reference. We got 3 days till Happy Gilmore 2. July 25th. That is a must-watch for me, at least.
Must-watch for me, too.
Maybe not for everybody. I can't wait.
You got to watch it.
I can't wait. I'm excited for it. Expected to be totally let down.
Why?
Because that's just how it is.
Totally let down? I'm expecting it to be not as good.
Not as good.
But not totally let down.
I just, high expectations. Sometimes under-deliver. All right, coming up next. Also, how do we handle our expectations about the rookies on the Eagles? It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A weird way to win. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies had one of the weirdest walk-off wins you'll see ever last night. They beat the Red Sox 3-2 in 10 innings via walk-off catcher's interference. Edmundo Sosa drawing that, and hey, he might have, but we'll take it. You'll take any wins how you can get them, and Zach Wheeler will take the performance even though it wasn't his best. 6 innings, 2 earned, 10 strikeouts. It's crazy that that's a down night for him. Bryce Harper went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, but it was still a slow offensive night for the Phillies. Dave Dombrowski talked about the up and down of the offense this year yesterday.
I mean, that's the way to describe it. It's been hot and cold. Some of that fix has to come internal. You're not going to go out and make a bunch of trades. But it's been inconsistent, and we need to get more consistent from the offensive perspective.
And some of that fix could come externally with the trade deadline just 9 days away. We'll see what the Phils do. Game 2 with the Sox is tonight at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez versus Richard Fitz, the pitching matchup. The Eagles report to training camp today, marking the start of the preseason. Nick Sirianni will meet with media tomorrow. The first practice is tomorrow. We'll talk to Jeff McClain at the Inquirer coming up at 8:25 about it. Amy Fadul joins us for the entire 9 o'clock hour. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like ground?
A lot of Eagles over the last 45 minutes because we found out that there are a lot of people concerned going into the season. When we were just trying to celebrate the return of camp, we'll speak with Jeff McClain coming up at 8:25. We have today's headlines before that with Connor Thomas. But we've also been talking about the Phillies. Dave Dombrowski spoke to the media, and we will play a clip for you momentarily. But we also have to talk more about this Edmundo Sosa walk-off catcher's interference. So Sarah Langs, who does a great job covering Major League Baseball, she found the last time it happened where a game ended on a walk-off catcher's interference.
Wait a minute, though. This was Ace of Spader had this before it even 30 seconds after it happened.
Oh, well then.
He had Ryan Spader had it even on the broadcast. They even used it on the broadcast last night.
Sorry.
30 seconds. Well, he had it in. Well, I mean, he had it in 30.
Mr. Spader.
Well, I mean, he had it 30 seconds. They even referenced it on the broadcast before they even went to break.
I
Commercial break.
didn't mean to.
I'm just saying.
Mr.
People.
Spader.
Well, I mean, I saw people have it later that I think a lot of people copied work.
All right, what time was it? Because Sarah Langs had it at 9:29.
How about right as it happened? Tom McCarthy referenced it before they went to commercial.
Okay.
That it was out there. 1971.
All right, 1971.
How about that?
Yeah, so second walk-off catcher's interference.
I saw a lot of copied work last night where that was being used, and time date stamps were.
Or sometimes it's not copied and people do their own research and they didn't hear the broadcast. Like, I didn't hear the broadcast.
Yeah, it could be.
It's a stat, not a take. I think that's fair game.
Could be.
Like,
yes.
I watch the games on mute. You know that. So, like,
you do. You do. Or you watch like I do. Sometimes you watch behind. You're watching it from behind.
Nah, I usually catch up.
You do catch up?
Yeah, I
there?
catch up.
You like to watch it from behind?
The second walk-off catcher's interference in at least the divisional era, which was 1969. The Dodgers did it August 1st, 1971. So it's crazy that we almost were on the day.
It's unreal.
You were out, dude. The Padres series, you were out, right?
Did you save more good stuff?
No.
Oh.
Do you know? Remember, you were at the game, the 4:41 a.m.?
Yeah, I was there. I was there from the beginning.
Do you know that it was the exact date when the Phillies Padres had the doubleheader?
Oh no, I did know that.
That was that's such a weird coincidence. Why? That's so weird.
I didn't. And if the Colgan family had offered me those great seats behind home plate, I don't know where behind the Phillies dugout. I don't know where the Colgans are right now. Mike Colgan was one of my players.
Okay.
His parents, Linda Colgan, had given us the family tickets that night.
Oh, so that wasn't even, that was a family ticket night.
No,
That's
Linda
big.
Colgan, one of my hockey moms.
Yeah.
Shout out to one of my former hockey moms. She was one of the best. Gave us the tickets. And we're talking like 6 rows behind the Phillies dugout.
That's nice.
For the doubleheader that night. And
I would take that.
It was awesome. Well,
damn
if
right.
I had that for a doubleheader, you kidding me?
Damn right.
It was awesome.
Now, you're burying the coolest nugget about the catcher's interference.
What is it?
It happened a lot more recently than 1971.
I know it happened in AAA Lehigh.
Double
A Reading. Yeah,
Reading.
yeah.
And who was it?
Otto Kemp was at the plate.
Oh, was it really?
And he was on the bases for this one. So Kemp has been a part of a play like that.
Wow.
Twice, and that happened in 2024, so twice in the last 2 years.
So it could happen next year, too.
As long as you have Otto Kemp,
As
anything's
long-
possible.
Otto.
Yeah.
I would not want to see. If I'm glad Otto has baseball, because if he was a waiter, he'd be dropping trays every night.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
rough.
seriously,
Yeah.
he is. He's like fielding grenades.
He's
out
a
there.
rough
I mean,
fielder.
routine balls.
He's a rough fielder.
It's really rough.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you though, I admire him though. I admire his scrappiness. I admire he's trying to do his best.
Just don't need him batting sixth.
Don't need it. Yeah, but in the field, oof.
Yeah. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, BZ Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. We started the show off with the Phillies because of the wild way that game ended yesterday, but also Dave Dombrowski spoke to the media yesterday. Here was Dombrowski talking about his mentality heading into the trade deadline, which is 9 days away.
Do you feel you'll be aggressive here with the trade deadline? Do you feel with the club where it is right now that you need to be aggressive?
Well, I can't say. We always are trying to be aggressive if we can, so we're trying to make additions any way you can that can help yourself, because this is the last time of year you can, July 31st, that's the last time you can make a move to try to help your club from outside the organization. So we will do what we can to try to make us better.
What do you think of the market with so many teams needing specific needs and stuff?
Well, it's different than some others because we are in a position where there are a lot of clubs that are still in in the battle, but a lot of things change daily at this time. I think some clubs, when I talked to them last week, or we talked to them last week, they had one mindset, and then after a weekend of good or bad, they have another mindset. And that may change a couple more times between now and the 31st. It's, what's today, the 21st? I mean, you're talking about 10 days. In trading deadline, that's a long time.
Now, he mentions how a lot of things can change, much like the Athletics. The Athletics were, through the month of April, were 16 and 15. And a lot of people were saying, oh, wow, look, they're actually playing better baseball this year after one of the worst seasons ever, right? Not as bad as the White Sox last year, but it was pretty bad. So now the Mason Miller conversation comes back up. Even though we thought literally just yesterday that there's no way. And then later on in the day, on Monday, it shows how quickly things can change. Ken Rosenthal puts out this report with The Athletic. A year ago, Miller was untouchable. To this point, the A's messaging this season is pretty much the same. But, according to sources briefed on the team's plans, that stance is subject to change. The way the A's see it, only a few teams are bold enough to propose an offer worthy of consideration. The Phillies, Dodgers, and Yankees figure to be near the top of the suitors list for the flame-throwing reliever, while the Padres and Mariners can never be counted out when top talent becomes available.
And
so
that
that's
does
something
not,
to
by the
consider.
way, people are misreading that. That doesn't mean that the Phillies are one of the teams that the A's are like, man, we're interested in what the Phillies have to offer. That's just speculation that the Phillies would be one of the teams
right
that would be up there. I don't believe that the Phillies have what I don't believe they're going to. They'd have to empty everything to get Mason Miller. It would take, I believe it would take Aiden Miller and Andrew Painter and more.
Could be.
And I don't think.
Just for Mason Miller?
Yes.
I think if you do Painter Miller, they do that.
I don't think
that
they
gets
do
that
it.
done.
I don't think they do it.
That's two top 100 prospects, and Painter is the top 10
Yeah, but
guy.
why did they? But the thing is, to get them to move off of Mason Miller, why did they want him? Like, first of all, people are just saying, why do they want to move off him?
I mean,
and why do you want to move off him over a guy off of Tommy John, who hasn't shown that he's off of Tommy John with a 5 ERA getting rocked in AAA?
Well, one thing real quick. Basically, every pitcher in Major League Baseball these days is off of Tommy John at some point or another. So that's a risk you're going to take with any guy.
That's a little bit of an overstatement.
Yeah, but
that's a little bit of an overstatement.
But a lot of guys go.
A lot of
go
guys are, but that's a little over.
The thing you got to look at, look at the top 100 prospects list, and look where Andrew Painter is compared to other pitchers on contending teams in farm systems.
Okay.
There's no other good team that has even a top 40 arm when you look at where they're ranked in the top 100 prospects. The next highest on a team that's currently in the playoffs is Jake Mizorowski, who's already up.
Do we believe that Andrew Painter's available all of a sudden? Because just last week, everybody in town thought he wasn't available.
I don't think he is, but I think that Painter Miller, if you make that move for Mason Miller, I think that gets done.
Yeah, I just wonder what we're doing. Because it's just a week ago, everybody in this town was convinced.
But just a week ago, Mason Miller wasn't available.
Yeah, but I mean,
that change?
But it's
going to
take a lot. I think it takes a lot more.
It probably would, but I imagine you're getting somebody. I don't think it's 4 prospects for one player. I think you would get some sort of player that would.
I don't think you're getting Rooker
slightly. No. I don't think you would get Rooker.
Not for that.
By the way, an update on the Justin Crawford situation. Matt Gelb always doing a great job. Speaking of The Athletic, covers the Phillies for The Athletic. Quote, it would not make sense for the Phillies to promote Crawford right now, then acquire an outfield bat that nudges him back to AAA. So they'll let the next 10 days unfold, and come August, Crawford could be at Citizens Bank Park.
They are the Punxsutawney Phillies. They really are. They are so scared of their own shadow. It's unbelievable. They're so scared of everything.
I get what he's saying.
But they're willing to just have inferior play for an entire. We're at 100 games now. They're willing to play inferior, below quad A center field at best, and just keep saying, "Well, we got to wait. We got to wait. We got to wait." Instead of saying we're going to value something. What is the harm? What is the harm?
Is if Crawford is a player that you potentially move at the deadline,
which is still a possibility,
and you bring him up a month before the deadline, he doesn't hit at the major league level.
It's not a month before the deadline. We're a week. We're literally
you're
a
not
week and a half.
but at this point, you just
yes. But I'm just saying,
and that's what Mac Yelb wrote.
Retroactively, if they bring him up and his trade value diminishes, then he's not helping your major league team. And he's not a piece that you can get as much for at the deadline.
And that's all because of the fact that you sat hiding in the corner, shivering, going, "We can't do this. We can't do this.
Part of the reason you might still have trade value is because you didn't do that. We don't know what he would have been.
Because you allowed center field to be a black hole all year. You allowed your center field situation on a team you're trying to tell your fan base can win a World Series. You allowed your center field situation to be the worst in baseball. That's freaking embarrassing. With the fourth highest payroll in the game, you allowed your team to go out there with a AAA center field situation.
And left field.
Yes.
That's terrible. That's absolutely ridiculous that you did that. And any kind of justification of, well, they did it because it was a smart move to try to protect his trade value is ridiculous. You're selling in one of the biggest major markets in the country with the fourth highest payroll. And you're literally doing these, well, we got to be really cautious here. Now, cautious, it's because of the terrible moves that you made. Awful.
I hear you.
Disgraced.
Bill Colarulo has some numbers for the outfielders I saw the other day. I'll give those to you coming up next.
Are they good?
No. And then we have today's headlines with Connor Thomas. Real quick before we go to break, Trey Hendrickson just added to his Instagram story. He's driving on a highway.
Where is he?
Florida.
Oh, really?
Camp begins this week.
Oh, boy.
He won't be there.
Today's report day, right?
Today's, yeah,
is that
for
their
Cincinnati,
report day, too?
I guess so. Yeah, my man's in the state of Florida. All right, coming up next, today's headlines with Connor Thomas. It's Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
If you're telling me Bryce is back and he is playing like one of the best players in baseball.
But Billy Colarulo of Unfiltered.
Billy the C.
Billy the C.
They're doing a really nice job.
Yes, they are. Billy Stats. Billy Facts. Billy the Lawyer.
Okay, what's Billy up to this morning? Is it this morning or is
No,
it
this
from
was from yesterday afternoon.
We were on the golf course yesterday, so I did not get to hear any of Sleeveless, Unfiltered.
Right. This was at 12:30 in the afternoon. I imagine he discussed it on the air during Sleeveless.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Phillies need to add an outfield bat to their lineup before the deadline. This is not opinion, it's fact.
Okay, I'd say that wasn't exactly breaking news from Unfiltered.
Left field rankings this year. So this is Max Kepler, and then the days where he cried that he wasn't in the lineup. Sosa played like one game out there. Schwarber's played a few, and Kemp's played a few. The days where Kepler cried himself to sleep because
don't forget Dub.
And Weston Wilson. Left field rankings, 30th in batting average. There are 30 teams in Major League Baseball, just so you guys know. The left field rankings, 30th in batting average, 19th in home runs. There's your power hitter, Kepler. Center field rankings, 30th in home runs, because Rojas has 1 and Marsh has, 3 this year?
3, I think, yeah.
It's completely a joke.
They are 16th in batting average.
It's hard. It's an absolute,
really, really bad.
It's an absolute joke that when you have the 4th highest payroll, and you are in this media market, and you have a team that is World Series or bust or those kind of expectations, that Justin Crawford has been parked in AAA. Absolute joke. Nothing less. There should be a laugh track under it, because that's embarrassing.
It's really bad. It's really bad to be dead last.
That's embarrassing. No, you have the worst outfield of any team that's considered a contender. And people who are like, yeah, this team's got World Series written all over them. Really?
Yeah, with trades.
Really? Yeah. And that if you're fixing everything, if you're doing a total, I forget the guy that used to have that show on ABC where they'd come to the house and they would build a house in like 7 days.
The home makeover show?
Yes, the home makeover show.
Move that bus?
And in 7 days, they'd move the bus. I used to love that show. I used to love them. By the way, they used to build really terrible houses. If you go, I saw the documentary on it.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, the people who got, it's a terrible documentary. It'll break your heart. Because I used to love that show. It's so heartwarming. And then they would, move the bus. God, the Phillies, man. Ty Pennington couldn't come in here in a week.
Move that bus, baby.
Man.
Time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
What's up, V?
It's brought to us by our friends over at Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. We're heading down to Maryland real quick to start off, boys. I need your opinion on this one. Fair or foul? Because there was an incident in batting practice for a high school team down there. Blair High School in Silver Spring had a player hit a home run in batting practice, whether it was for practice or a game, and it hit a truck that was parked beyond the outfield wall. Now, that truck belonged to a guy who worked at the fire station that's right across from the baseball field. And he saw that his truck got hit by the ball.
All right.
So he got upset, and he decided, being a firefighter and the resources available to him, he would get his revenge by spraying water all over the field to the point where he flooded the field so they could not play.
No, foul. I saw this last week. I know that the fire department put out a statement.
They apologized.
I hope that guy was removed from the fire department. And I know we need firefighters. And I support firefighters. I support police. I support Army, Navy, Air Force, all that kind of stuff.
That is a violation of your power.
You put your car there at risk, right? Like whenever I play in my...
Wait a minute. Is it the parking lot for the firehouse?
It's where the school is, and the fire station's right next to it.
So is it the parking lot for the firehouse? He didn't put his car at risk. He parked at the firehouse.
Well, unless he parked
some... All right, then fine. Spray the water at the fire department for putting your car there.
I'm not justifying... No, wait a minute. I'm not justifying what he did. But he didn't put his car at risk. If he parked in the Firehouse parking lot.
I believe if you park your car near any sort of baseball field, you're technically parking your car at risk.
Absolutely. Every time.
Our home field, John, is in a neighborhood. Even though they're parking in their driveway, a foul ball could hit their driveway. It's unfortunate, but that's just the case. That guy parked his car where he felt like, okay, I can leave my car here. A kid hits a home run, and his response is to flood a field to the point where they had to cancel games.
Nobody's justifying his behavior, but I'm questioning you on if you park in a parking lot for a business or otherwise, you're not putting your car at risk. Where are you supposed to park?
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait a minute. You're a fireman? You're not supposed to park at the firehouse?
That's how baseball fields work, man.
That's ridiculous.
It's always worked everywhere forever.
Yeah. That's absurd. No. But that's absurd. But the idea of his behavior, childish, and he should be removed.
He should be removed.
He should be removed.
Like, dude, what are you doing, man?
Terrible.
No, I'll tell you, missing practice for a couple days, though. Maybe the kids aren't all that bad about that.
They had a game.
I know.
The game got canceled.
I know. I was just trying to keep it a little bit lighter. Also,
in the summer, right?
We have a team that has been playing games, and they've been playing games pretty darn well.
Got him! 11-game winning streak for your Milwaukee Brewers as they shut out the Mariners 6-0 in Seattle. The best record in baseball belongs to Milwaukee.
Where the hell did this come from? And are the Brewers legit?
They got really, really hot. They've won 10 straight. They got hot before the All-Star break, and it's continued since the All-Star break.
They swept the Dodgers in the season series. Yes, they are legit.
No, I don't believe it at all.
I don't believe so either.
How?
I don't think their lineup's all that good. They're having an incredible stretch right now. They'll be a playoff team.
Yeah, they'll be a fun first or second round exit team.
I don't buy that.
Could they beat the Phillies in a series? By the way, they already came in and kicked the Phillies' backsides too.
Sure. I don't think the Phillies are legit.
The Marlins could beat the Phillies in a series. They could also beat the Dodgers in a series.
So are the Dodgers legit?
I do not. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because they've swept them twice now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Dodgers are like the overall ceiling of that team.
I am telling you right now, the Milwaukee Brewers are
not legit.
They will not make it to the NLCS. No shot.
I'll co-sign that.
No shot they make it to the NLCS. But they're playing great baseball right now, and they're making a case for their ownership, which is usually pretty cheap, to make a move. And good for them. You know?
It would be a great time for them to trade away their closer.
Yeah, they did that last year, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't think they're doing it.
That was so weird last year. They told their fan base whatever. Thank God we got Howie. All right, coming up next, Jeff McLean. He's back. Tuesdays with McLean. We get to talk about the return of training camp. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A weird way to win. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies found one of the weirdest ways to win a ball game you could find. The Phillies beat the Red Sox 3-2 last night in 10 innings, and we've seen extra inning games before, but not one that ends on a walk-off catcher's interference. Yeah, Edmundo Sosa at the dish. Catcher caught a piece of his bat, and next thing you know, Phils get the victory. Zach Wheeler went 6 innings, 2 earned, struck out 10. Didn't have his best stuff, was still good enough to find a way to a victory for the Phillies. And Bryce Harper went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. It was still a slow offensive night, though, and it's been up and down all year. Dave Dombrowski talked about the offense.
I mean, that's the way to describe it. It's been hot and cold. Some of that fix has to come internal. You're not going to go out and make a bunch of trades. But it's been inconsistent, and we need to get more consistent from the offensive perspective.
With 9 days till the trade deadline, we'll see what the Phillies have cooking. Game 2 with the Sox is tonight at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez faces off against Richard Fitz. The Eagles report to training camp today, marking the start of the preseason. Nick Sirianni meets with media tomorrow. It will also be the Eagles' first practice. We're going to talk to Jeff McLean of the Inquirer coming up at 8:25. Amy Fadul joins us for the entire 9 o'clock hour. This update's brought to you by the local Ream Pro partners at thereamteam.com. When you want your home to feel like a dream, it has to be Ream. Stay cool with a high-efficiency AC system from Ream, RHEEM. Find your Ream Pro partner at thereamteam.com. I'm Connor Thomas on the home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hall of Fame sports writer Jason Stark.
When the Phillies are in first place at the break, they almost always win.
Tuesday, a drama-free offseason, Johnny, and a drama-free start to camp as Trey Hendrickson is driving down a I-10 in Florida right now.
The minute I saw the road, I know it. It's I-10 in Florida.
He's like, yeah, I ain't showing up till I get paid. All right, he's back. It's Tuesdays with Jeff McClain. Let's head to the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. And you got to experience the new look of Inquirer Sports, where fans can read, watch, and listen to their favorite reporters and columnists. Go to inquirer.com/sports. And one of our favorites, of course, on the Comcast Business Hotline is our man, Jeff McClain. Jeffrey, welcome to Report Day.
What is that? Hi, Jeff.
Hey, guys.
What's up, buddy?
What's up?
The Eagles report to training camp today. Yeah, man. Summer's over now. Now it's time to get back to work, and I know that you're ready for it. Camp returns, and the Philadelphia Eagles are drama-free. The big question that I want to start off with is how this camp will be handled, Jeff. Have you gotten any sort of sense? Because last year they were more physical than in previous years. A lot of that had to do with Vic Fangio, but they're coming off of winning the Super Bowl. So what do you think the approach will be this year for Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff?
Yeah, last year I guess the practice was a little longer. They had a few more of them and maybe a little more intense in terms of, contact and whether they had pads on or not. I guess my anticipation is that they'll probably do a little more of that this year. We do know the schedule through the first preseason game, and not much different than last year. And really, honestly, not that much different than the year before. But because you have 2 days on and then a day off, and then a day on and then another day off. And they have some walkthroughs sprinkled in there too as well. So it's not like they're going full steam. And I think the longest stretch of the first 2 weeks is about 3 days in a row. And, in the past, the Eagles would do 4 or 5 days in a row. So not that intense, but certainly a little more than what they did 2 years ago when I think there was some blowback on how light the practices were. Certainly Vic Fangio, he has a loud voice in that room, and he wanted to see more of that, more practicing. But I think that was the direction that Nick Sirianni was going after 2023 when some of the players were wearing down. So my expectation is that practices will be similar to what they were last year.
When you hear players and the messaging being that we've turned the page, we're moving on to this year, what does that mean to you? Like, does that mean questions are out of bounds? You're going to avoid it. The rest of the media is going to avoid it. Or do you leave that up to individual players to tell you, yeah, I'm not talking about that?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's going to happen at various points here early in camp about the repeat question, right? I don't think there's any avoiding it. And I guess in some ways the question will have to be asked. And we saw 2 years ago how, that question was asked a lot, not repeating, but getting back to the Super Bowl. And certainly having to do that again factored into, I think, what we saw that year in terms of the regression. It's always difficult to repeat. We know that. The Eagles, though, I think have kind of reached a level now here over the last, 4 or 5 years with Nick Sirianni, that they're a playoff-bound team every year. Certainly, I think that's to be expected this year. So, there's an element of them, not having maybe to answer the question about, whether they can contend or not. But, again, I get a little more granular on the team and a little more detail-oriented on the team. The way I look at it, just, looking more at position battles, looking more at roster spot battles, looking more at, the changes and the new additions than I do kind of that big-picture question because, yeah, it's out there, but I feel like there's more important things, I think more specific things that we can be focusing on when we're talking about this team.
We as Eagles fans, and of course the Eagles themselves, were spoiled by Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Jalen Hunt all performing in their rookie years. Of the top 3 picks from this previous draft, Jahad Campbell, Andrew Makuba, Ty Robinson, I'll just ask you, Jeff, which player do you think will probably have the biggest role on the Eagles this upcoming season, whether or not they make a major impact or not?
I think a lot of that will depend upon the injury that Jahad Campbell is returning from surgery to his shoulder. He didn't do anything in the spring, and and we'll see. I think Vic Fangio had said back in May that he won't be back sometime until mid-August, somewhere around there. We'll see how that plays out, but that's going to set him back considerably. And at that position, off-ball linebacker, there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to understand, and my expectation is that he won't be starting right away because of that, partly because of that. So I guess Andrew Makuba is the guy. That safety spot is open. He got first-team reps right away with the veteran group. Sidney Brown did as well. I think those probably are the two main combatants for that spot. But this is the guy that Vic Fangio clearly wanted, coveted. Sidney Brown was drafted before Vic got here. Vic's language on Sidney hasn't been overwhelming. That they only drafted him 2 years ago, and it took 2 years before they decided to draft someone else to fill that spot. So my expectation is probably more Makuba than Campbell, but we'll see how things play out. We'll see how that shoulder is feeling once we get back to camp.
Jeff, you have documented for the fan base over the years how Howie, during training camp, has poached off of other people's roster cuts or grabbed some low-priced veterans who other teams have sent packing. What position groups do you think potentially he could be looking to do that for later on this summer? Or not based on injury, but maybe based on where you think he could be a little thin right now?
Yeah, well, again, if they don't feel great about the safety spot, if they don't feel great about the cornerback spot, maybe they do something there. Probably not. They have guys lined up, young guys for those spots, as I mentioned, at safety, at cornerback, Keely Ringo, and they got Adoree Jackson. So they have people. Of course, injuries happen, and that could factor into whether he decides to make a move. But if I'm looking at a position that I'd be a little concerned about, just because there's a lack of experience. It's an edge rusher. They had some movement there. They did bring in a couple guys that have proven it before, but maybe not as much as they want on contract years. So they're improving when you're prove it deals. You mentioned J. Alex Hunt before. He really showed something as a rookie, especially late last season. But you're asking a lot for him to come in there and start right away. So I could see them maybe, picking up someone here and there at that spot. Defensive tackle looks like they had 3 guys working out just recently. But I don't think it's anybody that's going to really kind of particularly move the needle.
Yeah, I'll just ask you, any chance for Trey Hendrickson, just because he's not at camp and we know how this contract saga is happening between him and the Bengals?
Oh, I never even thought about that. Hendrickson, really? Okay.
I'm asking because Trey Hendrickson's not reporting to camp, so we've reached that point of the summer where he hasn't gotten his money, and he told Adam Schefter about 20 minutes ago that he will not be reporting to training camp until he gets his contract. So
yeah, I get right. I was like, you guys asking these questions, people asking these questions. Never say never, right?
Right.
Maybe there's a way that they can. Maybe there's a way they can do something with the contract to get him in cap-wise, but I think it'd be very difficult for the Eagles to spend that much.
You think you'll see any difference in Nick Sirianni now that he's got a ring on his finger? As far as just his you've seen coaches develop over the years. You saw Andy Reid and how he developed and grew as a coach. You saw how a ring affected Doug Peterson. How do you think that ring is going to affect Nick Sirianni and maybe his relationship with you guys, with his stature as an NFL head coach?
I think it's a fair question because you mentioned Doug, and I just don't think Doug was the same. It wasn't just him, obviously, for why that team plummeted the way it did over like kind of a 3 or 4 year regression to the point where they went 4-11-1, and he was fired. There are a lot of factors in that decline. Nick, I think, has a little more energy for the job. Let's put it that way. It seemed like Doug was kind of more like doing it, not because he didn't want to do it, or not that he wasn't capable, but kind of walked into it a little bit more, where it's like, this is just all that Nick has ever wanted to do. And I think he's kind of in this for the long haul. I think, the energy is there. And winning, I don't think it's just him being satisfied just with one. I think that he wants to kind of build, legacy here. There are questions about, how much he has contributed to the team's success, et cetera. I don't think he cares as much about that kind of stuff. He's willing to be kind of in the background to an extent, which is weird to say for a head coach, but he's selfless that way. So I don't think Nick's going to change. He is who he is. Now, obviously, what comes with that is a little bit of immaturity, brashness, all that other stuff that we've talked about before that maybe have gotten him into trouble before. But that's just Nick being Nick, and at this point, I think the Eagles embrace it because there is so much other positive that comes with him as head coach.
Jeff, listen, man, it's good to have you back. It's good to have the Eagles back, and I'm sorry that your summer vacation is officially over.
Yeah. I'm not. I get to read his stuff, so I'm not. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm not. But hope you had a good time.
Well, I appreciate it.
You're the man, Jeff.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Thank you. There's
buddy.
Jeff McClain on the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's
I'm
next.
so glad it's back.
Yeah, man. 40, how many days?
Right now to the opener.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is going to be 43. Today is faux.
44 days to kick off, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, coming up next, John Kincade has 4 questions about the mentality of the Philadelphia Eagles heading into camp. We go through those next. And don't forget, Amy Fadul will be with us for the entire 9 o'clock hour today. We're back on schedule, man. It's nice. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
15th minute, it goes up Bison.
damn hard. All I got was the, hey, do you need anything from Target call? And then I hear hi, Dad in the background. It's just, I'm a sucker, man.
Where do you get the, hey, can you Venmo me call?
Oh, yeah, that's going to be.
Those are fun. Now she works for a living. You don't get them anymore.
Yeah, sure. That'll be a fun one. Lunch money. We'll get the lunch money first. How about that? All right, you have 4 questions about the Eagles' mentality heading into
we're heading
training.
in, right? I mean, we're heading into camp.
It's report day.
It is report day.
And by the way, we don't have any Trey Hendrickson situations going on, it seems.
No. I think Jeff was surprised by your question, by the way.
Yeah.
About that. There's no way they're doing
I don't think so. I just figured, look, he was talking about the pass rush.
Sure.
And it is. It is a concern. It was my concern last year, and they worked out second half of the year. So we'll see.
Okay, one. Do the players feel like we do after a long vacation, or are they excited to get back? Now, I know some of the answers to this. We used to broadcast a lot at training camp. And so talk to a lot of players and spend a lot of time at training camp.
How about this? They're not excited for, what's today, Tuesday? They're not excited for, when's the first, gasser day?
Oh, yeah, this coming this week.
Remember Becton threw up 15 times last year?
It's hilarious, though, what they call gasser day today. Every other day used to be 2-a-days.
Right.
And now they don't even do 2-a-days.
What I'm telling you is I don't think they're looking forward to Thursday.
Like the fitness test.
Right. But I'm sure they're looking forward to Friday.
And the fitness test, by the way, is not.
Right. It's not the same.
A big challenge.
Yeah, but Becton was.
He's puking.
There was a puke wash last year.
Yes.
There was a counter. And by the way.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Super Bowl champion Mekhi Becton, damn it. And I root for that guy.
Do you think going back after a championship makes it less exciting or more to go back?
Oh, way more.
More exciting.
Who do you think's more excited to be in camp this year, the Carolina Panthers or the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, the thing is, though, is what I'm saying is that the team that wants to get back to work and start climbing the mountain again, is it the team that, it just is
I
it's
just
where you're
think
challenged.
when multiple players, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts specifically,
right,
were like, all right,
yeah,
we won the Super Bowl. Let's get back to it. Let's go
exciting.
win that again. I'm going to guess they're excited to be back.
Well, that's why I have to ask you is when you have to try to climb the mountain again, is it harder as a defending champion than it is as a team with a chip on your shoulder to come to camp?
I'll think here's where I say
harder.
Here's why I say it could be harder. You have to tweak things. You can't. The Eagles can't copy paste what they did last year this year. But there's probably a mentality of we were so good at this, why not just continue doing it? Like if you ever did,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it,
right? But that's not like life. It's teams are now going to scheme to stop the run.
All off season, everyone watched what the Chiefs did to stop Saquon.
Right. So it would be naive to just say we're just going to run the ball 30 times again week 1 and expect it to go the same way it did last year. Week 1, maybe. But 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that might be where it's a little bit difficult, but I think they're geared up.
Yeah, why the hell does Zach Wheeler throw a splitter? Because he was good before it.
Right.
But you got to add stuff
to it. Yeah.
Here's the hard one for you. What do the team and the players talk about as the team motivation if talking about last year is truly off the table? If talking about last year is off the table and you're not supposed to be talking about last year, we will not be talking about last year, then what do they talk about? Because this is a team that does an amazing job of not talking about their own personal goals and ambitions.
You can say that we're not talking about repeating, but you can say that everybody's out to get us.
Exactly.
Because everybody will be out to get us.
Well, then that would be talking about last year.
Yeah, but you know what? The Rams, again, I got to find out who it was that said it. There was a Rams player over the weekend that was on.
Yeah, we circled them on the schedule.
We circled them on the schedule. Like that kind of. Football, man. Bulletin board material, anything that you can find. So
maybe you fake stuff. Because
if you do talk about everybody's out to get us this year, we're the big game on their schedule, then you are talking about last year. That's talking about last year.
Sure, it's talking about last year, but it's not saying we're trying to repeat
I get you, but it is still talking about last year. You're referencing why. Well, why is everybody out to? Well, we're the Super Bowl champs and everything like that. It's just as I think it's a difficult road to navigate. I love their focus if they can hold it. I'll believe it when I see it because I think it's incredibly difficult to navigate. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I mean,
like
look,
the first time they meet with, what if they do start 2-2? Well, then what is every question going to be about?
Well, no, the answers will be we were 2-2 last year.
Correct, and then you're we're not talking about last year, right? Or
now
it's
some
very
guys
difficult
can use
to not do that.
Personal stuff, like look, there's still Jalen Hurts disrespect, right? So, not that I think he reads into it all that much. I think he just plays football, but maybe Jalen Hurts hears some of the disrespect and wants to prove people wrong and stuff.
Bro, there's Saquon disrespect if you look at it a certain way. Hey, look at what 2,000-yard rushers have done in their follow-up season.
Yeah.
No one's gone over 1,500. He may look at that and be like, screw you guys, I'm going to do it again.
The thing is, as I brought up, though, when we looked at the numbers, the recent ones that had really big years didn't have, catastrophic drop-offs. There were a lot of them that had really good years the next year, just didn't have as great a year. Didn't have the two. And I don't expect Saquon to have the 2,000 yards again.
Right, but it's spin zone time for Nick Sirianni and the motivators.
It's going to be hard.
They'll figure it out.
I think the hardest person to handle this edict is going to be Nick Sirianni. He says he can do it. He says it's about not talking about last year. I think it's going to be the hardest for him to not do it.
Maybe. We'll see how it plays out. Coming up next for the remainder of the show, she's out there. She's ready. Amy Fadul. It's a Tuesday. We are back on schedule. The Eagles return to camp today, and our schedule returns. I love it. Amy Fadul with us for the remainder of the show. She starts your way next here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Interference for the win. I'm Connor Thomas, and that's how the Phillies took down the Red Sox last night, 3-2 in 10 innings. Walk-off catcher's interference with the bases loaded and Edmundo Sosa at the plate. Yeah, you don't see that one very often, but the Phils will take it. They'll also take what they got from Zach Wheeler, 6 innings, 2 earned, 10 strikeouts. He didn't have his best stuff, and still, that type of night, that's why he's great. And Bryce Harper, 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. It's good to see him starting to get going. But Dave Dombrowski talked recently about the offensive struggles throughout the year, the up-and-down nature.
I mean, that's the way to describe it. It's been hot and cold. Some of that fix has to come internal. You're not going to go out and make a bunch of budget trades. But it's been inconsistent, and we need to get more consistent from the offensive perspective.
Yes, they do, and some of that could also come from external additions. 9 days till the trade deadline. We'll see what the Phils have in store. The Red Sox will be in town again tonight. Game 2, 6:45 p.m. Christopher Sanchez versus Richard Fitz. The Eagles report to training camp today. It's the start of the preseason. Nick Sirianni meets with media tomorrow. First practice is also tomorrow. Amy Fadul joins us coming up next for the rest of the show. This update's brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Early Birds with Andrew DiCecco.
It is Tuesday. It is the return of the Eagles to training camp. But maybe more importantly, it is the return of Amy Fadul to the show. What's up, Amy?
Hi, guys.
Good morning.
I've missed you all. I've missed you all. I still listen down the shore.
We hope you enjoyed your vacation.
I did. That's the beauty of the internet. You can still listen down the shore.
If you have a phone, you have a radio. That's
right.
what our old promos used to say. Training camp is back.
Yes, it is.
Gasser Day will be later this week, and then it's,
I'm guessing Friday.
Friday?
Thursday.
Thursday or Friday.
Or probably Friday.
Let the guys get comfortable.
They got to ease them in.
Let the guys get comfortable for the first couple of
today,
days.
You guys remember this? Today used to be like a big deal. We would be camping out at like Lehigh. All the guys would be rolling.
And they'd be moving in their stuff.
You could actually talk to them. There's none of that
Not
now.
anymore.
No.
I said to John, I miss watching
that.
at the time Comcast Sportsnet.
Yes, it was always a big deal.
It was the guys with the 40-inch TVs because that was big screen back in the day.
Todd Harriman's would pull up in that van that had no windows.
Yeah. That was the best, though.
And he would like to slide it open and he'd get out like a futon.
I think he still may have that van.
He probably does.
He probably does.
I'll have to ask him.
But that was one of my favorite days of coverage with Comcast Sportsnet. Was the guys showing up to Lehigh and all the gear and
They'd have
everything.
like their PlayStations.
Yeah, not anymore. Now they just go to NovaCare and then they go home, which is fine. They're Super Bowl champions. Today's been a weird day.
Mm-hmm.
So
really weird.
Around 7:15 this morning, we start. Actually, no, before that, 7:00 this morning. John wanted to do an exercise today where he asked everybody, "What is something that you would guarantee for the Eagles?" And it could be, "I guarantee that they win the Super Bowl." Or,
as far as the team prediction of how far they would go, but sort of like the cliffhanger game on Price is Right, how far would you go where you say, my prediction is not going to have me fall off a cliff? Mine was, they will be in the NFC title game.
That's fair.
Andrews is, they will host the NFC title game.
Yes.
That would be mine.
Connor's is, they will be in the divisional playoff round.
He would not go further.
But he would not go further because you're trying to make a prediction that says, I guarantee my prediction will not be wrong.
Otherwise, Bob Barker's yelling at me.
Yes.
Right. And
or
you don't
Drew.
want Bob Barker to beat you up. I've seen him beat up Adam Sandler before.
Yeah, we
he
saw
does.
It.
He does.
So that was a very upbeat conversation. Yeah. We then got into a conversation about how much we love Howie because Jerry Jones and his nonsense yesterday. Like we were just
that was speechless.
It was amazing. Yeah. Stay there, Jerry. And then we saw the beauty of our YouTube chat is the immediate response. And my God, you would think that we were the Eagles cheerleaders. Oh my God, homers!
Oh my God, we were called homers.
Look at
these homers.
Saying the odds-on favorite, the team with the best
exactly
record.
What John said.
And the team,
the defending champs,
the team with the best offense, bar none. I know they have some departures on defense. I was listening to Jeff McClain, and I was answering before he was answering too. And edge is obviously the glaring thing. We also doubted the defense last year, but whatever. We're not talking about last year.
No, exactly. We don't want to do that because you'd be in trouble.
But I mean, we got.
In what world do you think they could literally?
So
the sky could fall tomorrow. Like, come.
I've been following along what's going on in space. I don't know.
Right?
We might all get zapped up soon.
We have
don't
no
know.
idea what's up there.
But it's like the pushback that we got, and it's very reminiscent of last year, which is strange because remember, Philadelphia media, the evil media, always negative. Blah blah. Let's fly a plane over Xfinity
Yeah,
Live.
we turned Brandon Graham against everybody.
Yeah, come on. But last summer we were talking. John said it he etched it in stone
when the schedule came out
that the Eagles would be in the NFC Championship game. And there was a lot of pushback from people that listened to the show. And I get it. It was weird because following the collapse season, I understand it. They're coming off of winning a Super Bowl. The offense has 10 of 11 starters back. The only starter that's not the same as Mekhi Becton, but Tyler Steen has played in this system. The defense, there's new look defense, but you feel great about the guys that are returning.
You feel great
and you feel good about the coordinator.
That's why, Vic Fangio. I know there's some questions on offense. Obviously, Kevin Patullo being the sixth different coordinator. We have all been down. Yep. At this point, I think Jalen Hurts would be surprised if he had the same coordinator. I think it keeps him on his toes. But the thing is, Patullo's been in the system, and I know everybody's saying, well, Brian Johnson was in the system, but he knows the system. And witnessing the way that they were able to pivot last year, I think is really important to see up close. Because remember, first 4 weeks of the season, 2-2, Jalen was very erratic, trying to do too much stuff. They simplified it in the break, And then they came out and they were still a little shaky, right? They were still shaky. The Browns game, the Jaguars game, we know that. But the shift that Petulo was able to see, I think, is going to be very helpful in case something like that, because they're going to box out Saquon, right? I mean, he's not going to be able to run roughshod. So I don't have the same concerns. It's not to say you have no concerns. I don't think this is like I'm like walking into Kansas City 3 years ago and thinking, yep, well, that's a Super Bowl team, because it was. I think this is a Super Bowl team, and I think that there's until they prove me wrong, why would you doubt that?
Do you think not talking about last year is more?
See, I don't buy that.
Is more shtick? I don't buy it either.
Yeah, I don't. Buy
I think
that.
It's shtick.
I just remember talking to.
They have to be talk. You still refer to. I just think they're not talking about it to you and to me and to everybody else.
I think they're trying to. If you remember last year, they didn't want to talk about last year and the collapse. They didn't want to talk. They were like, we're going to put that. But they every time it was almost that like the old Roman rhetoric of like, I'm not Cicero. I'm not going to talk about it, but you're actually already talking about it type of thing. So I remember talking to Brian Westbrook, and he was like, they're absolutely talking about it. Not in overt ways, not like this big speech like, all right, guys, we're Super Bowl champs and we have to repeat. Or last year it was, all right, we don't want the collapse. But they're talking about it in overt ways, whether it's a certain rep, he said, whether it's a look, whether it's just not taking that extra kind of time off type of vibe during a certain practice or a routine or a rep they've got going on. So I think that those are the things that are going to be happening. No, not an overt, like, we're not talking about the Super Bowl anymore. Of course they're not talking about it.
It's kind of hard.
It's
kind of hard to ignore it. Yeah.
How do you not talk about it?
I would think it'd almost be
You walk into your practice facility and there's 2 Super Bowls.
And it's almost derelict not to talk about it, because there are lessons that you learned.
Absolutely.
Positively.
I think they're
and
just-
maybe some last year there were negative lessons learned.
Through the first 6 weeks of the season, there were negative.
First 2 rounds of the playoffs weren't great.
Absolutely.
Like,
The Packers game.
You survived both of those first 2 playoff games.
I just think that like they're trying to get ahead of it, like they did last year about the collapse, and we're going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. We've already talked about it. It's still going to be there.
Yeah.
And when if they start off really strong, it's going to come back. Right? If they start 5-0 or something, hey, well, look, you're primed for a repo. We're not talking about that. Or if they start 2-2, well, remember that. So it's just, I think they're just trying to get ahead of it. That's all.
You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, BZ Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. We'll get to a call here in a second. Amy Fadul with us for the remainder of the show today. I'm looking at our YouTube chat as we reopen this conversation.
Am I also Homer now?
Right away.
You big Homer.
JM checks in. Nobody feels great about this defense. Edge rusher, linebacker, cornerback, and safety are all questionable. Now, look, legitimate questions. Like,
legit questions,
do they
absolutely.
have a deep rotation at edge right now? I don't necessarily feel that way, but I felt that way last year. Look at what happened. Cornerback, one side of the field, I'll see how it plays out. Safety, I think Makuba's going to be a good player. I think there will be rookie learning curves. And that's when the first couple weeks of the season, which is why we've talked about this patience conversation. I will be patient with the defense because Vic Fangio is going to have to get these guys to learn. Like, I probably would not be as patient with Sidney Brown as I will be with Andrew Makuba, because I think Sidney Brown struggles at a lot of things on the field. I think he's just the guy that's going to go 1,000 miles per hour and not play the game the right way. He's just full of energy. I'd rather have the all-around player, which would be Makuba, and we'll see who wins that battle. I get where JM's coming from, but there's not enough concerns for me to say, oh boy, major step back season.
Right, and also, I've also heard ones, and I think Connor touched on this on the offensive side. It's almost like a negative positive of like, well, Saquon can't possibly do that again. Well, Zach Bond can't possibly do that again. Like, okay, you're almost willing them to not live up to what you expect of them. It's a fatalist attitude. Like you're trying to project that out there.
Right.
Zach Bond can't do that again. Why not? You thought he couldn't do it in the first place. He showed you that he was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, for Pete's sake.
But Jaden Daniels will take another step forward.
So like you think the Cowboys are going to be legit this year, and you think the Commanders are going to vie for the East, and yet you think nothing good about your team. So I get it. Like we're unusually optimistic, and it's not. We don't feel good about that. So we look for ways to poke holes in our heart. Sometimes just let it ride. Just let it ride.
Well, luckily, they're going to have the Commanders pregame coming up at 10 on the Mike Missanelli show, who's very high. Mike's very high on the Commanders.
I heard the promo running that
He's very high on the
Mike
Commanders.
believes the trend will end of the no back-to-back division winner. So
wait a minute, that's changed?
Maybe.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Well, that was the immediate reaction to schedule.
Wait. Bill and Mike both picked the Commanders to win the division.
Ew.
They did.
I knew Mike did.
The day after, yes, they did. The day after the schedule came out,
double check with them.
They both. Oh, so they're changing now?
I'm just asking.
Shocking.
I'm just saying.
It's sort of like Green Bay week all over again. Last summer.
Just double
Green
check.
Bay. I'm picking Green Bay to beat the Eagles. Green Bay to beat the Eagles, and then it's Green Bay week, and then from a Friday, it's like, go Birds! Yes, I'm picking the Eagles. I'm like, oh my
go
gosh.
Birds and pick the Eagles. Come
pick
on,
the
man.
Eagles to win.
You better watch yourself.
Here we go again.
Let's go to T Love in Delco. What's up, T Love?
What's going on?
T-Love.
What's happening? Hey, listen, I was calling about the baseball thing with the firefighter.
Yes.
You know,
That's crazy.
I live in a community, as a matter of fact. I'm pinned up against a baseball field. I don't know whose bright idea it was to put a baseball field in a residential area that way. And being a longtime taxpayer, you know, longer than some of you guys been alive, you know, things happen. I get it. I live in a community, though, where the community has taken responsibility, you know, the area. I live in Ridley Township. They take responsibility for the things that happen. My car's been dented a lot. I had balls coming over me. They extended the fence. If you're going to put it in a residential area, you have to make sure that the taxpayers in the area aren't affected. The worst thing in the world I want to do is to make sure the kids don't have a place to do something constructive.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, that's very important. Now, the psycho firefighter, they better keep an eye on him because he might be a guy that's setting fires too.
Maybe.
Just to put him out. He likes to spray water. Beware of that guy.
That's just such a weird
psycho.
immediate
That's a weird
reaction. Yeah, like,
but the thing is, it wasn't
Yeah.
even. I heard it wasn't even like it. The dent had happened.
I was reading the article. There's no photos,
Yeah.
but it said that it eventually struck the car. So it could have been bounce, bang.
And he had parked across the street.
Oh, so he didn't park in the fire lot.
Well, I'm sure that's where they are.
Oh,
but
okay.
But it's not like it wasn't a shattered
his first
window.
It wasn't his first day on the job, right?
Right.
So if I know if I'm going to park near there, like if I park at the Wells Fargo Center and the Eagles fans come out and dent my car, whose fault is that? I'm still going to work.
Yeah, you're going to work.
Yeah,
I take my. He was a psycho guy. That's a psycho reaction.
That's a psycho reaction.
And we made it very clear.
Inherent.
Support the firefighters.
Yes.
Support
Of
the
course.
police. Support
Don't support that
EMTs. That guy sucks. Like
Yeah, he
that
does.
guy stinks.
Yeah.
That's
The rest of the firefighters are like, dude, come on.
yeah.
Chad,
I would hope
come on,
so.
Chad.
Thanks, T Love, for the call, man. We appreciate it. All right, coming up next, you got the Phillies shirt on today. You and I are matching.
Oh,
I just
the
have
powder blues.
Mine says Ocean Beverage on.
Either way.
He gave Ocean Beverage the
We'll
plug.
talk some Phillies coming up next. I read an article this morning that I found very interesting, and I don't believe it. It's Dave Dombrowski on the hot seat. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We want to hear from you, so text us at 610-632-09. on the hot seat. We'll get into that momentarily. I just saw something on social media. Bite your tongue, John, because I know you're the first one that will make the joke.
Okay. I'll turn my mic off just so I'm not.
On Good Morning Football, Manti Te'o says he spoke with Trey Hendrickson. Go ahead, say it. Oh, did he actually talk with Trey Hendrickson?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Was it Trey?
Maybe his girlfriend.
Oh,
Maybe his
Renaya
girlfriend
Kukua?
did. Yes, exactly.
He spoke with Manti Te'o.
By the way, my wife believed the story.
I believe the story.
What?
I do.
I believe the
Wait
story.
a minute, whoa.
I know people that have actually that know him from Hawaii, and they're like, he is absolutely like this It's almost like when Tiger came out and everybody Tiger Woods, when he the ship, he went crazy, kind of, right? And people are like, there's no way. But there's a couple people who are like,
no, there's a way.
Okay, you believe that a guy in college, just quickly, not to get derailed here, for 3 years tells everybody, I have a girlfriend. I've never seen her.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen her. I've never FaceTimed a phone call.
have you ever watched the show Catfish?
No, I haven't. I love that show. By the
know,
way.
but
I love that show.
that's literally the same thing.
But this is a guy walking the campus of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
As the captain of the football team.
Right. He's a very religious guy. He wasn't.
I got you, but I mean,
Tim Tebow never had sex, John.
Don't get me started.
It just had a child immaculate.
Yeah, I'm just saying is. But I mean, I'm just saying is I don't believe.
I don't know if it's 100%.
My wife believed the story.
I think it's more believable than
I
not.
don't believe for a second that you keep going. Well, I can't FaceTime with you tonight because the phone doesn't work.
Anyways,
the computer doesn't work.
The point is, Manti Te'o says he spoke.
That's so great. That's actually so great.
Spoke with Trey Hendrickson.
Sure he
the poor
did.
guy.
Sure he did.
Who said the Bengals offer and the guarantees, quote, are atrociously low. So I don't know how we've reached report day and you're lowballing someone that much.
If I'm Joe Burrow, I'm like, there's one good thing about this team, and it's me and our offense, right?
Yeah.
T. Higgins, it's good Jamar Chase. There's lots of positive offense.
Yeah.
They have one player on defense that is redeemable. One.
And remember, Burrow, I think it was during the Super Bowl, Radio Row, all that kind of stuff, he said something to the extent of, the Eagles pay all their players and keep them.
Yeah, he said, the reason they're here is because they've had that, history and the culture that they build and that they pay their players and they take care of them or something. It was definitely a phrasing like that.
And it was definitely a shot toward his ownership. Hey, can we
have one guy on defense that's any good, and you're going to give him $7?
Yeah. The owner, we said it this morning on, we were listening, because when we come in, the overnight's on ESPN.
Yep.
The owner has his press conference. He called him Trey Henderson. And I'm just like,
little out of touch.
You didn't even get the guy's name right. To me, it's just, it's offensive. That's, people be like, it's a misspeak.
It's not that long ago they were referred to as the Bungles, right? I mean, they were an absolutely hapless franchise for years. They had a head coach, Marvin Lewis, great guy. Know him personally.
15 years.
Never made the playoffs.
Yeah, that's
but that shows you the commitment to that. Right? There's nowhere in the world that even in Jacksonville, they're like, well, we know that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
But it just shows you how they're perceived there.
No, it's
a joke.
It is a joke. All right, I read an article on Fox this morning, foxsports.com. MLB trade deadline, 5 front office execs under pressure and what they can do. But they also mentioned hot seats. And they have Dombrowski as the number one guy.
See, I can see that, yes, his seat might be warm because I think people are thinking your window is closing. You need to make some moves. The moves you have made, I know you guys detailed it. Left field. Shawnee, we went to the game on Sunday, and Shawnee on the way down was asking me, who would you rather have in left field, Kyle Schwarber, Brandon Marsh, or Max Kepler? And there was no question. I was like, Max Kepler was last. But, but number one?
Yeah. Because of the expectation on him, the resources given him, the absolute negligence of this outfield.
To not have any pop in your outfield is really, I heard the 30th.
30th.
And then 16th.
It's bad.
I will say that Crawford, who I really like, has absolute zero pop in his bat.
No, and that's not. But
he'll hit for average.
Exactly.
He'll hit for average, and you can trust him in the outfield. Whereas
correct.
Marsh is
Oh my gosh.
scared, and Johan Rojas
Marsh plays a good
doesn't have a
outfield.
brain sometimes.
Marsh plays a good outfield.
He's very hesitant to go after balls, which bothers me a lot.
His hesitation costs them often.
Well, I
He's
saw
a keep the ball
he
in
ran
front
into,
of you guy.
He ran into the wall a couple times.
He made a really nice
He made
play.
2 decent plays
Oh,
on
yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday, he had
I think he's
love
fine.
visibility.
I think he's fine.
I think he's fine. I'd rather
Fine.
have.
Well, yeah, of course you'd rather have somebody better than fine.
And
You
I'm
don't
asking Crawford to bat ninth. I'm not asking.
Yeah,
him to,
because you're looking at
bat
fine,
fourth.
and right field defensively. Like I know I never made an error, but
I don't.
whatever.
Okay.
And then left field is a real dearth right now.
If this team doesn't go further than last year, do you think Dave Dombrowski's back? I do not.
Yeah, that would be tough for me if they don't go any further than last year.
If they're out in the first, if they flame out in the first round,
Yeah,
and
I
they-
think that's a
I
very
think
strong
that-
possibility.
I think that Rob Thompson's gone, and I think that he's gone. I think Rob Thompson's gone unless they go further.
I think also it would be really, really bad if they let Kyle Schwarber go. Like
Oh.
that could be regardless of how the season ends. I think if you couple how the season ends and
That
if
would
you
stink.
don't, that would be detrimental.
Yeah, that would stink.
But like, because John Middleton's
PR
come out and
nightmare.
said like, nope, we want him.
PR nightmare.
I just saw a tweet from Phillies tailgate that tomorrow J.C. Romero will be throwing out the first pitch.
No.
Somebody responded with, "This is secretly a workout. If he touches
Stop it,
90,
stop it."
look for Dombrowski to sign him."
We already saw Dave Robertson come back. Everybody's like,
That's amazing.
is that the same guy? Like, sure is.
By the way,
Third time's the charm.
Romero has to do the quirky set
yes,
before he makes the
absolutely.
pitch, right? We're all in agreement.
Absolutely. Of course.
He can't just toss it over.
And
He's got to
Renee
do it all.
Kukua will be throwing out the pitch.
Lene
this
I
weekend.
mean, if it's a made-up name, you got to get it right.
That was a wild documentary. All right, coming up next, we'll continue some of our Phillies talk. We'll check our text line. We've gone away from it a little bit. Also, are you going to watch something tonight? Just for like the show of it. I'll ask you guys this coming up next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
As weird a walk-off as you'll ever see. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies had one of the strangest ways to win a ball game last night. They beat the Red Sox 3-2 in 10 innings via a walk-off catcher's interference with Edmundo Sosa at the plate. Yeah, I haven't seen that at the major league level since the 70s. You'll still take the win. And you'll still take Zach Wheeler's performance, even though it wasn't his best stuff. 6 innings, 2 earned, 10 strikeouts. Bryce Harper went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, so it was good to see him get going again. But the offense has still been hot and cold throughout the year, and Dave Dombrowski talked about that yesterday.
I mean, that's the way to describe it. It's been hot and cold. Some of that fix has to come internal. You're not going to go out and make a bunch of trades. But it's been inconsistent, and we need to get more consistent from the offensive perspective.
With 9 days till the trade deadline, we'll see what they do externally and what changes internally. Game 2 of the Sox is tonight at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez on the mound against Richard Fitz. The Eagles report to training camp today, marking the start of the preseason. Nick Sirianni will meet with media tomorrow for the first availability of camp, and tomorrow will also be the Eagles' first practice. Amy Fadul stays with us for the remainder of the show. This update's brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Andrew DeCecco.
Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic, with Amy Fadul for the remainder of the show.
You learn things when you hang out with Amy Fadul.
Hell yeah, we do. All
Like
the
you
time.
can't. Why I can't have a lid on my soda that I buy.
I'm not saying it's not always the case, but a lot of places when you recycle the bottles, they don't want the lid on. So there you go.
Okay.
You're trying to do good.
Look at that.
And it's
The
like,
more you know.
we can't take your lid.
Well, I just don't like when they open
By the
up
way,
my beer
I know somebody who got
or another beverage.
a super speeder ticket
Yes.
down in Georgia. They got one of the super speeders.
Okay.
And so the judge was like, do you want points?
Did they play for the Bulldogs?
Do you want points or do you want no? They
No.
didn't. But they worked.
Because that would have been like,
no,
go
but they-
Dogs.
No,
and
but
then
they
he left.
worked at my radio station.
You would have barked at him and
And
left.
I was like, do you want the points on your license or you want to take the class and do some community service? So they said, I'll do the community service. And he had to work at the recycle place. And you had to go through the recycle and separate stuff.
Yeah.
And literally this lady was on a speaker yelling at him.
That's wrong.
And it was a 8-hour
God.
shift with a break for lunch. And he had to do it for 2 days. And he literally was like, no, the greens don't go there. And she's yelling at him as it's doing it. Goes,
Take
no,
the cap
push
off.
It. Like it's like, oh my
Still-
gosh.
still better
He
than the
said-
points.
He said it was more pressure than anything. He had played college sports and he said it was more pressure than going to a practice.
Better than
this
the
lady.
points.
All she does is supervise the belts and is like, move it.
That's clear. Put it in the clear one.
Exactly. Push it. That's wrong.
Better than the points.
Oh my
man.
God. Yeah, the points would have killed him.
All right. Tonight, I have a question.
Yes.
Let's say the Phillies were off today. All right.
Okay.
Because I know guys like Connor can't handle watching 2 screens at once.
Phillies first.
I know. If you had the freedom to do so today, would you go out of your way to watch 45-year-old Rich Hill make his 2025 debut tonight against the Cubs?
No.
No.
See, this is where you're a sicko.
Why? Because he's 45?
You
Yes.
go out of your way to see it?
I would-
Okay.
I might tap in tonight.
Do you have any personal affection for Rich
no,
Hill?
I don't know why he was still in the minor leagues this year. Like, I don't know why he's still playing baseball. I thought it was odd that he was pitching in the minors. I think it shows how desperate the Royals are that they need to call him up in July.
Maybe one of those, like, someone was like, hey, Rich Hill's playing, pitching really well. I might turn over.
Yeah, I mean, like if I flipped channels and saw, Rich Hill.
So they started. They're in Chicago.
I thought he was retired.
They're in Chicago, so they start an hour later. So Phillies will be in the 4th inning. I might just tap in to see the first pitch, see how slow it is.
Wow.
Yeah, but like first pitch isn't going to tell you anything. I'll be all amped up.
All right, then I'll watch the first.
I was going
inning.
to say I need like his 8th pitch. I need his 14th pitch.
It's just, why did they call him up? Like, how desperate do you have to be to call up 45-year-old Rich Hill, who's been in the minors? Which, by the way, I don't know why he's in the minors. Like, I kind of feel bad for the guy. Like, what is going on in your life that you need to be pitching in the minors at the age of 45?
Yeah, I'm not. No, that doesn't move.
No
the needle.
interest?
If it
Doesn't
was
move the
Jamie
needle.
Moyer, I would have been like, well, that's fun.
Well, he kind of is. He's the modern day Jamie Moyer.
But I know
45-year-old lefty.
I don't know Rich Hill personally.
No,
you actually
I
have
don't
to draw
know-
to
I don't know
watch
Jamie
that
Moyer
game?
personally.
I'll probably check it out, yeah.
Dude.
I just want to see it.
Connor, he thought that he was going to make you look like with that. He sort of flipped on you there a little bit. Like he
No, I
thought-
just know that he wouldn't.
Yeah,
I
but
knew
he
that
thought,
Connor
but
was.
you
I
thought
have a
you thought you were
life
going
and
to
a
make Connor
brain
look a
and-
little like I know Connor
It's
wouldn't
just
do
that
that.
it's not-
I think the vast majority
Congratulations
of
on
people
having
would.
a life, Connor.
Thank you.
I think the vast majority of people would not have any.
No,
interest.
I know I'm probably the only one in Philadelphia.
Oh, there'll be someone else.
I think the country, except for Cub fans.
And Royals. Well, it's the
Well,
place
and
for
Rich
the
Hill's
Royals.
family.
Yeah, and Rich,
Rich Hill's
I'm
family.
sure they care, unless they're saying, "Hey, can you hang it up by now?" All right.
Come back home, Grandpa.
So, Amy,
Pop.
Curious. We've been obviously talking about a lot about the Eagles today as well. How much are you going to balance? We had this conversation recently. The sort of expectations that they're going to win. You want them to get back to the Super Bowl because they are talented enough. But at the same time, there's a new look defense and there's a new offensive coordinator. We had a patience conversation recently about how patient we'll be with the offense versus how patient we'll be with the defense. Last year, they started 2-2. It wasn't pretty. They won the damn Super Bowl. How do you balance knowing that took place last year? Where at one point, there was fire Sirianni talks.
Yeah.
In week 6, when he was yelling at Eagles fans. but they won the Super Bowl. How are you going to balance sort of the learning curve, the bumps in the road, while also realizing, all right, this team is really good, and I saw them get past all this stuff last year?
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of goes back to what we were talking earlier about, like, oh, you can't go back, you can't talk about last year. You do have to at least reference it, just like we referenced 2023 at the start of 2024. If you don't, acknowledge your history, you're doomed to repeat it, all that other nonsense cliche. But I think that I will wait. The schedule isn't it has gauntlets, but there's not that when we looked at the schedule, right, there wasn't that stretch like there was last year. You're like, oh my gosh, like clenching time. Like if you get through this, then I know you're something. I feel like every week there's going to be a test in a certain way, and it's not just because they're the defending champs. So I'm going to try to take it week by week, and I know that is absolutely the biggest cliche. But I think that there's going to be at some point in the season, if their record, even in a win, doesn't look like it should, right? They don't look like the team that we should. And I'm going to probably just arbitrarily pick week 7, just because I feel like that's first couple of weeks, because of the way that the preseason schedule is, those are almost treated like preseason games. The first game, to me, everybody's still trying to hit the ground running. So I think, who do they play week 7? Week 6 or week 7? I feel like
Giants. They went to the Giants and dominated.
Are you saying last
season this coming year? Last year I was like,
I have that.
Let
me get my trusty ledger for you here.
Vikings
so week
beat
7.
you.
Yeah,
Google's faster than your spreadsheets. We just got it here and now.
Give me that.
No, week 7 would be it'll really be the Vikings.
Okay. Who's week 6?
That's week 8.
Google beats Excel spreadsheets.
Well, yeah, sorry, the 7th game.
There you go. Good.
Sorry.
That's good.
Sorry. Yeah, probably around then. I think that's enough teams that are contending teams that you faced. Teams that are going to give you their best shot. After that, then I will be like, either I'm like, all right, this is the team who I thought they were going to be, or we're in trouble.
Fair enough. All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
We have a lot of people checking in, Phillies and Eagles. So let's go with that Birds conversation since we were just on it. This texter, Danny, says, listen, you can't say it's automatic that they're going to even make the playoffs, talking about the Eagles. What happened to Detroit could happen to us. I still think to this day, I believe if the Lions didn't have those devastating injuries, they probably would have won the Super Bowl.
They made the divisional round.
They made the playoffs.
Detroit made the divisional round.
All right. The Eagles could sustain a lot of injuries. So could 31 other teams.
Yes. Every team. You can't put injuries into these predictions. Everybody in football can have it.
See, that's
just play along, people.
That's Philadelphia, though.
Everybody can have injuries. Everybody. But when you're making predictions for a season, you don't take injuries into effect because everybody can have injuries. So you pretend that everybody as currently constituted, what do they have? What do you have? That's what you do. You can't predict injuries. So you don't predict them for your team, and you don't predict them for anybody else's team. That's how it works. It really isn't hard.
Well, it goes back to like, well, the Commanders could be, well, the Bills could be. Yeah, they sure could be.
Yeah.
Except for
if Josh Allen gets hurt.
Yeah, well, there you go.
There you go.
That can't predict injuries clip from John Kincade right there is going to do numbers during Sixers season.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good point.
That's also why we have that same way. Like all of our sports bleed together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's why we are the way we are. That's absolutely why we're the way we are. Because we've seen it. It's happened.
What else we got on there?
All right, we'll get a little bit with the fighting Phils going on here because people are talking about the Dave Dombrowski stuff and everything. Jacob from Clearwater is excited with what Bryce Harper's been doing lately and says, I hope this leads Dombrowski to be even more aggressive, not just with the bullpen, where that's his fault for not bringing back the two best we had, but go get a stud bat as well. I want them to be even more aggressive with what I've seen from Bryce lately.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I agree.
I don't think I was never going to base the trade deadline off of Bryce unless like he literally could not play. But that does add to, all right, we have Bryce Harper back. Let's be a little bit more aggressive because we've said it, John. If Bryce Harper's not Bryce Harper that we know, they're not winning anything.
If Bryce Harper is not, look, if we can't count on Bryce Harper to be sort of, and he doesn't have to be what we saw in the 2 games this weekend.
Right.
But if we don't see that guy show up a few times a week,
where pitchers fear him,
yes, then we're not going anywhere.
That was Jake, you said, the texter?
Jacob from Clearwater,
See you in 2 months.
There
we're
it is.
Around 2 months away, Johnny. All right, coming up next, we will get some more text messages.
We'll see him in 66 days.
Damn right. We got the key 3.
66.
Before any of that, If someone is calling you out, what is the line when you bark back? There was a wild umpire and Hall of Famer interaction. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hi, my name is Phil E. And for most of my sports fan life,
Now more of Kincade and Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
940, Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Amy Fadul with us for the remainder of the show. All right, so I put this on the show sheet. John and Connor have not seen this yet, but I know Amy has by her reaction. So I tease going into the break. If somebody is calling you out, what is the line when you bark back? So Chad Whitson is an umpire in Major League Baseball. And over the weekend, he was the home plate umpire in the game that featured the San Francisco Giants and I believe it was the Blue Jays. and Justin Verlander pitched in the day before. And Justin Verlander, it's sad to watch right now, is done.
Tough.
He's got nothing left.
Tough.
I think he was trying to chase 300 wins.
Yes.
And I'm going to guess he's quickly realizing that ain't happening. Because he's like 30 or 40 away.
Yeah, I want to say 30-something.
Yeah, so he's not going to get there. So Chad Whitson was having a bad day behind the plate. Believe it or not. I know you're Mr. Robo-Ump.
Yeah, the Robo-Umps can't get here fast enough.
He was having a really bad day. He missed 16 calls in the game.
Ooh.
Well, didn't the ump in Suarez's game the other night miss?
Oh, he missed. Yeah,
I think
missed
9 or 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this guy missed 16 calls, 12 of them against the Giants, 2 of which happened in one at-bat.
Ooh.
Justin Verlander started barking at him from the dugout. Verlander obviously not in the game because he pitched the previous day. So he's barking at him. We do not have the audio of what Verlander said, but I imagine it was more than just, hey, you missed or something.
It's a pitcher and a home plate umpire. Best friends.
So Whitson responded.
Oh, no.
See, that's where you can't.
He took his mask off and said, quote, "How about you worry about getting out of the third inning, huh?"
Oh,
hell yeah.
That's not. If I'm the catcher, the next time, I just lean a little bit out of the way.
I love that move.
So what's the line? Because this guy, now look, Whitson was bad.
That's the line.
Whitson was bad. He was having a very bad day. He doesn't realize it till he looks at the film after the game, and then he probably goes, "Oh, damn, that was really bad." He doesn't realize that he's having a bad day. Verlander's barking from the side. Verlander's pitching terribly this year because he's cooked. I don't like. I kind of like the good for you, Blue, but you also stink.
Well, I mean,
no.
You can't.
It's his. He is the one that's supposed to be in order, right? He's the rules guy.
Yeah.
I'm the umpire. You shouldn't matter what
You're
the guy
not
said.
allowed
Then
to be.
run him.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be out of order. He should have run him.
He did run him.
After he gave him a parting shot. That guy was having a bad day, and he made it worse.
Man, that's
bad.
the thing is though.
There's not a pitcher in the world that's going to side with the umpire in that one.
Yeah, not.
How about you get?
I do love
inning.
I do love it though when people get all offended when the person goes after you, and then you come back at them and it's like,
whoa.
What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Verlander's not that guy because he's not gonna. He wouldn't be like, oh wait, what did I say?
No, Verlander be fine. I think he'd be fine.
If anything, like he would just kind of buck up and be like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, but you've seen this like with friends or coworkers in an environment where they say something, you're like, wow, you absolutely should not have gone there. But if you're a third party observer and you're just kind of sitting there, you're kind of like you kind of
keep going there.
I kind of like that you did though.
So Verlander 38 wins away from 300. He's 0-8 this year with a 4.99 ERA.
I personally think if somebody opens the door,
Imagine if he got past the third.
They
ERA
open
might
the
be
door.
higher.
They open the door. But I understand Abe's point of
He's the
they're
rules
supposed
guy.
to be the decorum person,
He's supposed to keep
the law and order person.
Well,
Literally.
Yes.
That's his job.
It's crazy.
Shot at him. All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor, before we get to the key three?
So this is interesting because I would love Amy's thoughts on this too, something that we talked about earlier today. This texter is checking in on Joe the Cynic on our upgrade position. We talked about Alec Bohm. He says if you can upgrade a position, you upgrade, even if it's not high on the important list. This team has too many guys that are a zero power threat.
Yeah. I mean, what does he want to upgrade Bohm?
So we talked about that earlier. So Andrew, if you want to lay out the just the conversation we were having.
Bohm?
So we had
With whom?
Did you run into Bohm last week down the beach?
I did not. I almost saw Kyle Schwarber. He was where I was the day after.
Dombrowski was asked whether or not Bohm's injury would change their plans at the deadline. And to his response was, no, he's not going to be out that long. To which then I go, is Bohm a guy where you would never consider upgrading over? So let's say, again, Eugenio Suarez, we know is available, right? 36 home runs. Free agent after this year.
Suarez.
Thank
Do
you.
not
Sorry.
Pronounce the G.
Thank you. Eugenio Suarez. And the Diamondback, it's clear he's going to get traded.
Yeah.
He's better than Alec Bohm. Okay?
Correct.
He has 38 home runs, which I think is more than Alec Bohm's last 3 years combined.
He's a power
Jokingly,
hitter.
but I'm also kind of serious. He may not have 38 home runs over the last 2.5 seasons. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. He is an upgrade, at least offensively. Defensively, not so much because he's a bit of a butcher over at third base. Suarez is. But let's say they acquire a corner outfielder, and
that's
Suarez.
the most important part.
Like, is Bohm really a guy where you're like, oh no, we're really good here? He's not.
No.
He's a guy that when you're listing your problems, he's not at the top of your list.
Correct.
But it doesn't mean he's not on a list. There's few people that are untouchable, right? Zach Wheeler.
Right. To upgrade that spot.
Right, because we're good there. I don't know that you look at third base and say, like, yeah, we are rock solid gold there. I think you look at third base and say, like, yeah, that'll do. That'll do. But the thing is, we've got that'll do in center field, that'll do in left field, that'll do at third, that'll do sometimes at catcher. It's kind of like, how many that'll do's are you going to get? You can't have that many that'll do's.
I always look to improve my team.
Yeah,
right?
but this is like when your car had the issue with the tire and you're sitting on the side of the road and you're like, I could really use more windshield wiper fluid.
I don't know if it's that. It's more like an oil change.
Yeah, oil change. Still, at the same time, right now there are major issues with this team, and Alec Bohm is not one of them.
But
I'm just saying, like, right-handed power bat is a concern with this team.
But if it costs you something, if this was the only move you made, it would be an upgrade.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Like, a right-handed power bat.
Yeah, Eugenio Suarez, tremendous player.
Alec Bohm is not a right-handed power bat. He's not.
He's not a power bat in any way.
By the way, I looked
Max
it up.
Kepler's not even a bat.
Yeah, that's true. 43 home runs Bohm has since the start of the 2023 season. Suarez is 5 shy of that.
How about when he was in the home run derby? We're like, this is going to go terribly. Why in the world would they put this giraffe in there? And then all of a sudden the giraffe bombed. We're like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Mind-blowing.
So that's just the conversation we were having earlier.
By the way, I do want to say Kevin says that the videos, a few of them have disappeared from last week of the Alec Bohm's vacation last week.
Well, if they're stories disappear.
No, it wasn't stories. These were videos that were posted to Facebook.
Wait a minute. How old were the people posting?
Remember, you may think this team has a great chance to win the Super Bowl, but what I'm asking you is, how far are you willing to go where you guarantee your prediction will not be wrong?
Only Zach Wheeler, John, can look off and still go 6 innings, strike out 10, and allow just 2 earned runs. He gives up a home run in the very first inning to Jaron Duran, who's a player that a lot of Phillies fans have eyes on. And then he gives up 7 total hits, which is not something that we're used to out of Zach Wheeler. And yet he strikes out 10 and pitches a quality start, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. And man, a quiet day from the bullpen?
Might have been all the time off, like the long paternity leave and then the double vacation that he got. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe a little rusty. That's part of it.
Still ended up having a good game, so I'll take it.
He did, and so that could have been part of it.
One of our favorites, of course, is our man, Jeff McClain.
This is just all that Nick has ever wanted to do, and I think he's kind of in this for the long haul. I think, the energy is there, and winning, I don't think it's just him being satisfied just with one. I think that he wants to kind of build, legacy here.
This is one of those games where I go, look at what Zach Wheeler did. Look at what I've seen Christopher Sanchez do. Look at what I've seen a lot of the pitchers on the Phillies do. And yet I had to go to the bottom of the 10th and not win via a walk-off legit hit, win via a catcher's interference.
That's because your lineup stinks.
Yes.
And continues to stink. And it's weak. Now, that was a great pitching performance you had to face last night. So tip your cap and say you went up against some really good pitching last night, but that was a bad hitting performance again. So again, this team has too many holes in the lineup. I don't know how many holes you could fix in it, and just shuffling guys around in the lineup, how many problems that fixes. But the pitching, as you speak of, it's absolutely, it gives you the opportunity. So I'm willing to convince myself of can they change their playoff chances a lot more in the next few weeks with a couple moves? Sure, they can absolutely do that. My prediction is this. Last year, I told you guys there would be a NFC Championship game pregame show in your future. That was going to be a day where on the Fanatic NFC Championship game, be ready for it. There's a game. January 25th. 2026.
So a day early?
Yeah, it's a day earlier. There will be a Birds NFC Championship game pregame show on the Fanatic. But that's as far as I will go. I will not predict an NFC Championship game victory. I will not predict a Super Bowl victory. But I will predict that the Birds will be one of the 4 teams left standing. Because the game today is how far are you willing to go where you believe I'm going to guarantee my prediction will not be wrong. And that's where I believe my prediction prediction will not be wrong. Like last year, I believe this is a Final Four team, and I'm on steady ground, strong ground. I look at the landscape of the NFC, and I said, yeah, they will be one of the 2 best teams in the NFC at the end.
Well, show's over because I agree with you.
I wondered where you'd end up.
I just think it's extremely difficult to get to back-to-back Super Bowls or 3 in 4 years. Can this team do it? Absolutely.
See, you're where I'm at.
But I will say that I can guarantee you an NFC title game. Now, I will go one step further.
Okay, are you going to say it's here?
It's at Lincoln Financial Field. And that is the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show. We've been hanging out with Amy Fadul for this 9 o'clock hour as well. Been an interesting day with the Eagles. All of a sudden, the negative Eagles fans have.
Well, are they being negative or are they being ultra cautious? Because I think it's easy to say negative. I think they're being negative if they accuse people of saying they're going to the NFC title game as being homers. I think that's being negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I think there are people who are just ultra conservative. Okay. But the thing is, you can't use injuries. You can't use that because you can apply your same argument to every other team.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's the thing.
If Jalen goes down,
but
well,
they don't want. They're not going to.
Goes down?
It's just. I think it's because of the way injuries have ravaged other teams here in Philadelphia that we are a little bit more sensitive.
It is one of the reasons, Amy, I brought it up a couple weeks ago. One of the biggest things that I've been wrong about with Nick Sirianni in his tenure.
Yeah.
Questioning his training camp. And I stopped doing it after the second year.
I heard you guys talking with Jeff, and it was like, is he going to run a tighter camp? Is it going to be tougher? Like how he runs it. Because we're so dissecting everything here.
Yeah, we are.
But after his second year, when they went to the Super Bowl, I said, okay, I'm done. Like I'm wrong. Whatever he's doing, it seems to be working, and it's working with that. So my thought process of what I believe a camp needs to be,
I think that's why when you ask like, at what point are you going to be like, I've made my kind of decision on this team. You have to reserve judgment just a little bit longer.
Yep. Hey, Pierce Phelps Bryant, heating and air conditioning contractors, made a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research. I greatly appreciate that they did. And you can, too. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR because cancer research saves lives.
Damn right it does. Amy, thank you as always.
Thank you, guys.
Good to be back on
trade deadline next week we'll be talking about leading up to it.
How about that? Check out post-show headlines on YouTube. 2 things that I wanted to get into on the air, but that's the beauty of post-show headlines.
We'll get to them both.
One I just kind of laughed at yesterday when I saw it, but we'll talk about it in post